On today's show, a special guest joins us to talk about formative tracks of our youths, ones that opened our ears to the sounds of rebellion, and tracks that your mom probably didn't like. Who is this mystery guest? What are these tracks? We'll tell you this and more on today's Six Picks Music Club. Welcome to Six Picks Music Club, a music podcast for people whose parents did their fair share of drugs. Hey listener, you're listening to Six Picks Music Club, the music podcast where each episode we pick 6 songs based on a theme. Welcome back if you've been with us from the beginning, and if you're brand new, we're thrilled to have you. I'm your host Dave, lifelong collector of music, lover of live shows and all concert posters your walls can handle. Thanks for being with us every other hump day and sharing our show with your friends. Joining me as always are not two dudes who have been putting up with my bullshit for decades. My co-host, the punk from Padre, Russ,
hey.
And our very own Europhile, Geoffro. Except no Geoffro. Hey Russ, how are you?
What? Where's Jeff?
Yeah, no, he's Europhiling. You heard that right, listener. You know our beautiful Jeff is a world traveler and a professor, so basically that means he takes the summers off, and this summer he decided to take a 6-week vacation around the world with his lovely wife and Tres Niños. But never fear, we've got a great show today, and we do have a great guest stepping in to cover for Jeff. I'd like to welcome back to the pod a man who knows Christmas in Connecticut is just better. It's your boy JM. Hey homie, welcome back to the show.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
It's JM. We're great, dude.
Hey, JM.
Hey, buddies. I was going to say, I mean, you've been putting up with my shit for many decades, so, you know.
That's fair.
Jeff's gone, but
yeah.
I'm still filling in for multiple 10-year gaps of fucking with you.
Yep, that's totally true. Putting up with, yeah. I think most people listening to this show have been putting up with my bullshit for decades, so.
That's felt like longer than that, but I mean, I think it checks out.
I didn't know you could stack shit that high. That's right. I think we got a fun topic today, and JM, this was your topic, so I'm glad that you posited it to us, and I'm really excited to get into it. But you know, in Jeff's absence, he did open up his computer and send an actual email. He sent us a password, so I'm gonna give it a go. Let's see. Fuck your meatloaf. I'm vegan now. Oh, man. Yeah, that one hits home for me.
Even abroad, he still brings it.
I feel, even from Europe, this is a completely different time zone, and yet the door swings wide, does it not?
All right, everybody, grab a tofu lettuce wrap and get your asses in here. Let's go. This episode is coming out on September the 10th. And so just want to say happy 9/11 Eve, everybody. Hashtag never forget. It's kind of crazy that was 24 years ago. It's like this unprecedented event.
Damn.
That's wild.
Wow.
And it was impactful to the world at large, right? But music industry was no stranger to the changes. You know, concerts got postponed or flat out canceled. And you know there was a list that Clear Channel put out to radio stations with like questionable tracks to avoid, like Rage Against the Machine couldn't be played.
Sure.
And then MTV pulled all these videos that like had explosions or planes or skyscrapers.
It was a no dissent zone. We're all on board for right now.
It's because they ran the footage of that plane hitting the buildings over and over and over so many times. And they're like, wait, well, we shouldn't have done that. Uh-oh.
Yeah, maybe that was bad.
Whoops.
Traumatized all of us.
Yeah, it's tough to claw that back. On the plus side, Toby Keith had a really good year making patriotic music, so...
Dude, it was a great year for mentioning troops in country songs. It just was.
And flags. Yeah.
It brought the dollars in.
Bruce Springsteen had a banner year.
9/11 was, you know, when 9/11 hit its 21st anniversary, I remember thinking like, there's people who were born on the day that I was sitting watching that on the news who can now drink legally. And now those people are close to better insurance rates. And I feel like that just continues to put gray in the old beard every time I think about like how this continues to just push forward. And it has now become part of the pantheon, part of the comedic zeitgeist. Everybody's allowed to make jokes now. We're allowed to kind of like come at it from all angles. It doesn't seem like there's any more kid gloves on when it comes to how we approach 9/11.
They're remaking The Running Man, so that wasn't going to happen for a while. I was wondering when that was going to happen.
Yeah,
So.
it's wild. if you want to know how to get President Bush to an above 90% approval rating, we've got the answers. This is you can really flip it on a dime if you know the right tools. So, dear God.
So yeah, what are some other crazy things that you remember about that fall?
Man, I'll tell you the craziest thing about that 2-day period was we were in college and we all lived in this house where we would just party all the time or whatever. And I woke up that morning and I was supposed to have an 8 o'clock class or a 10 o'clock class or something. But when I woke up for school, I came out and one of my roommates was just kind of blankly staring at the television with slack jaw. And I joined up and started watching and seeing what was going on. And the next night we had to put our dog down. So we had a dog named Oreo. He was this big Dalmatian. He was the friend group's sort of communal dog. He was our party dog for college, right? He would eat pizza with us, etc. And that happened. And the next day he had to get put down and all of us were just completely ripped apart from tip to tail. And just invited everybody we knew over. And we were like, everyone's coming to the house. We're going to fucking party. We're going to hug and play music and be together because, the world is literally falling apart. We've got, attacks on domestic soil. Our fucking pets' heads are falling off. It's not good. So everybody get over here and fucking share some love. It was actually a really nice primer for adulthood where it was it's going to settle down tomorrow, right? It's nope, we're going to kill your dog tomorrow. We're coming right for your fucking house, bitch. Nut up. It's time to get
You think
serious.
that's bad?
You think that's bad? Oh, a bunch of New Yorkers you've never met? How about Oreo? The best dog ever. Yeah, that is my personal memory. What about you, Russ? Do you do you remember that you got a visceral?
I had my history class that morning. And it was definitely after the second plane hit, but I saw the aftermath and I was like, what the hell? And then they were just repeating it. I'm just like, are you serious? And there's no one knew anything. They were then the United 93 went down and then there was conspiracy theories. There's a plane over the ocean and no one knows what's going on and this is going for that. I'm just why? It was, I don't know. I just remember being I don't understand. And then I got really angry and then I almost joined the military, which is kind of weird. And I'm glad that I didn't, I guess, but I almost did. I got really I got really patriotic and I wasn't really ever patriotic before, but that was enough to be let's fucking go get them. And then, I don't know, man. I think I had some level-headed friends who were whoa, why don't you finish the semester, finish the year, and then, if then maybe if you still want to. And I'm glad
we got together, we bought you a BB gun. You're good. Let's start there. Let's get you going on some target practice before we get you straight over to the Middle East.
Yeah.
We're not saying no. Yeah. We're just saying not yet.
Maybe work on some birds and squirrels first and then make that decision. No, so I remember, I feel like it must have been that fall or very soon after that the Band of Brothers TV series came out. Does that sound about right?
That sounds
and it was
roughly right.
It was about a bunch of guys that went to war and this buddy of mine, Seth, who was in theater with me, he was like, man, let's go. Let's sign up. Let's do it. And I was like, dude, no way. He's like, yeah, we get our degrees. We'll join as officers. It'll be great. We'll go and we'll get those guys. I was like, yeah, right. Maybe.
Did he say it like Johnny Utah does in Point Break?
Yeah, kind of.
I'm glad he wasn't my friend because then I would have gone and joined up with him, I think. I needed someone like you next to me being like, no, bro, no.
Don't do it.
But I didn't know you yet, so.
But yeah, Seth very much was like a wannabe Johnny Utah. He's from Houston, but he actually moved out to LA to chase the actor dream. And he actually started a band. I think we talked about him a little bit. He always played music through college or whatnot, but ended up with his band opening for Maroon 5 on a little tour or something. So he saw a little modicum of success with that. And I mean, cool. We got to hang out with Maroon 5. Way to go, Seth. as older gentlemen now, I think we can look back and be reflective on this idea. And JM, when I posed the question to you, and I was like, hey, is there a topic you want to do? Like, you came back with this idea of rebellion. Kind of like, talk me through.
Yeah, JM, tell us about your theme.
So music for me goes way back, before I really even considered myself. I spend a lot of time thinking about what is the difference of me as my parents' child and what is the difference of me as my own person. Like, when did that event horizon occur? So when I look at my life, I think a lot about how I was raised and who I was raised by and the ideals and things that they sort of espoused and wanted me to pick up and take as a torch or whatever into my family and my life and my adulthood. And I didn't do that, probably to the chagrin of my folks. And, they're lovely people and they love me and my family loves me and all that stuff. But, I would consider myself probably a little bit of a black sheep in my family. And I guess I probably spent a lot of time out of guilt or something thinking about, like, what is it that created that pivot? And music is hugely important to me in my life. I've been a musician and I've loved music as long as I can remember. But there was a time at some point where it switched over from, like, the Ray Stevens record on Road Trips and that nutty squirrel, that's at the, all that kind of shit that I was super into as a young pup, wearing my Z calves and my fucking Reebok pumps. And then at some point, something switched in my brain, and I started becoming me, not just my parents' kid. And music was right in the mix of all that. It was right in the fucking core of that transition period. And I think everybody has that transition, whether it's music or art or, circumstance or whatever. I mean, everybody has different reasons for how they start to become more self-aware and more sort of driven by their own motivation instead of that which they were raised to believe. And that's what I think is really interesting, because I think music is that for a lot of people. Music and art in general, but I think music is really, like, in the mix of that time of life for most folks. And I remember, like, having records that I shouldn't have, or listening to records that I shouldn't listen to. In fact, one of my favorite memories and stories to tell is my brother and sister were 8 and 10 years older than me. I'm the youngest child, so I got a early start on all this stuff because I was kind of paying attention. And one of the things that I used to do was I used to go steal my brother's cassette tapes. He had all the good classics like GNR and, like, Poison and, all the, like, hair metal 80s bullshit stuff. And I was absolutely not, he wasn't allowed to have them. I certainly wasn't. I was in first or second grade. I would take them and I would go hide in my closet and play them in the back of my Teddy Ruxpin. So Teddy Ruxpin is just a tape player with a teddy bear built around it. It doesn't matter if you put a Teddy Ruxpin tape in that tells you a cute story.
I always thought Axl Rose was good to hug and cuddle with.
Or if it's like, girls, girls, girls. Yeah, totally. So Teddy Ruxpin really spoke the truth to me at a time when no one else would.
Along with, like, the little servos going,
yeah. Oh, it was very eerie. And it was, like, very, like, Rock-afire explosion animatronic band kind of shit. The eyeballs are looking back and forth too long of a blink.
I feel like the movements there kind of match that GNR singer, just the sweet child of mine. He's swaying, he's doing the whole,
It was a symbiotic energy. There was something right about it, even though it was so wrong.
They had an entanglement.
There was an entanglement. Teddy Ruxpin fucking knew how to party. So that's, that's where I started.
Later, that's where I used to hide my pot in Teddy Ruxpin's
exactly
ass.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So we started having sex around 4th grade, me and Teddy, and that's when I started doing my own laundry. A lot of matted fur. A lot of matted fur. And then he started getting abusive. That's when he started drinking. No. It wasn't good. I knew he loved me, but it wasn't good. So the idea here was, what's that song? Were there songs or was there music that helped you pivot over that transitional moment from being, I'm going to do what I'm told, I'm going to be what I've experienced, versus who the fuck am I? What do I think? What do I believe? and how does music and art influence that? Because that for me was it's I can define it. I can look at my life and I can look at those experiences and say, like, these are some of the records and some of the songs and some of the things that really were a key factor in that transition. So that's the idea, is like, what are the songs that stood out to you when you were like, oh shit, I can't tell my mom that I love this song because she's going to be really disappointed and give me like a really fucking hard time.
Pick number 1, baby.
I think it's as good a place as any to kick things off. And yeah, I think I've got the first track tonight. So this is a track that came out in 1989. So I didn't, become aware of it until probably 10 years later. I wouldn't say that it's a lesser known track from their Doolittle record, but it's certainly one that stood out to me. It's like very evocative. It's got all the cryptic lyrics that you would come to find in a Pixies song. That is the band that we're talking about off their Doolittle album. Let's give a listen to the track Hey. So that track is great. I mean, this whole record is great. I think Doolittle is, heralded as maybe one of their best records of all time. And this track is tucked in between two of the most emotional tracks on the record, Lila Love You and Monkey's Gone to Heaven. And so it's interesting that this is like, when you think about the Pixies, they are known for their kind of loud, quiet, loud sort of approach to music or whatnot. It's like you've got a lot of chaos, wall of sound, and then something that's like at a completely different level. And so even this track in how it sort of lines up with the record falls into that same pattern. And so it has lots of quiet stuff, and then it gets big and crazy. But, just to start, the Pixies are Black Francis, a.k.a. Frank Black, a.k.a. Charles Mitchell Kittredge Thompson IV. He put in an ad into the Boston Herald or something, asking for people to join a band. You want somebody to play bass who I think listened to Husker Du and one other band. And Kim Deal was the only person that answered that ad. And she didn't actually play bass, but like she took her sister's bass, Kelly, and just learned how to do it. So Joey Santiago, lead guitar, David Lovering on drums. That's the Pixies from 1986 to 1989, I think is when Doolittle came out. There was a tumultuous sort of relationship between Francis and Deal, and ultimately they went their separate ways, and ultimately they would come back and reunite. And I was lucky enough to get to go see them play at the Austin Music Hall here in Austin, maybe in 2007 or 8.
That's a great venue for a Pixies show. Perfect.
Well, yeah, because it was so damn loud, and like it was the Doolittle tour, so they played the entire record,
cool,
cover to cover, and they also recorded it, so you could like hang out after, and they were burning CDs that you could go buy from the show. So I have like a live CD of that show, and it's kind of like a board mix. It's not well produced or whatnot, but it's also sort of a nice little fun kind of like, I don't know, token of that. So how this song is like a rebellious song for me, as with a lot of Pixies songs, there's a very strong sexual undertone to this track. I think it's about relationships that we have that we're not happy with versus ones that we aspire to, but then not feeling like we can escape our past, not being able to move beyond the poor choices that we've made. Like, the repetitive nature of all of the lyrics in here. It's like, we're chained. Like, he talks about the whores at my door, whores in my bed, whores in my head. But where where have you been? Like, if you go, I'm going to die. And then it even goes into this sort of sexual thing where he's like, ugh, said the man to the lady. Like, that's a sexual kind of noise. And then, back from the lady to the man that she adored. And then the whores like a choir go, oh, all night. And it's just like, and he can't get away from all the whores and the fucking, but, the thing that sort of I was talking about earlier, just how it was music that I hadn't heard like this before, was just sort of the emotion that comes through in Frank Black's vocal performance. So like the line where he's like, is the sound that the mother makes when the baby breaks, and that he's just like kind of scream singing it, and just like voices breaking and cracking.
And I Will Surely Die. It's like the same. It's like that punch of the end of each verse is that like guttural shit. Yeah.
Are you getting like biblical feelings from the Mary line before that? Because I definitely am.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, it's like whores, and Mary Magdalene was a whore. The choir is a church. Mary in the church. Just like there's a lot there. And so, like, to that end, like, growing up Catholic, we were taught that, like, sex was only for marriage. And if you even thought about having sex or masturbated, you were going to go to hell, or it was a sin, or I don't know. Yeah, so this was a song that I was just kind of like, like many dudes of that era, 99 or whatnot, like, Pixies became sort of an anthem as they closed out the movie Fight Club with that track. And so, like, it started to become more common to hear about the Pixies. And then we saw Frank Black play at the Fry Street Fair the year that I got to have a backstage pass and like do theater stuff on one of the little tiny stages, because I knew the frat brother who organized everything. And so yeah, we got to like hang out with Frank Black in the back of a fucking, shitty festival backstage area in the middle of the, Texas spring.
Is he cool?
I mean, from what I remember, I was pretty drunk, but yeah, like, I think so. He was nice enough to like sit and talk with us for a minute.
For being drunk, young, meeting one of your musical idols, he was great.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm just, you never know. Like,
no, totally.
He wasn't a dick. I'll say that. So yeah, it was, he was just there, Frank Black and the Catholics, but it was still kind of really badass to get to sit there and see him in the flesh and just kind of, hang out and be in that presence and share a beer. But, so like this is a rebellious track because it's trying to rebel from yourself. And I think a lot of that was my college experience, trying to like find myself in this space where I didn't constantly have, big brother looking down my back and like telling me what to think or like who I should be friends with or whatever. Like, I stopped going to church in college and, have gone back and forth sporadically throughout the years. But like at this point, it's, I'm happy that it's there for you and like you're enjoying it and it does something for you. But it's like, I don't need that to still be a good person, right? I'm really over this idea of like, cause and effect, rewards that you get for being good. I think you should just be a kind, Christ-like person because it's the right thing to do, not because you're going to go to heaven or some shit like that.
You don't need the threat of eternal damnation to make you do the right thing. Okay, so hold on. I was not wholly familiar with the song. I'm going to say something unpopular, which is that like it took me a really long time to come around on the Pixies. I came to the grunge world and revolution in the Nirvana, Pearl Jam, whatever age. And I never went back to, pay respects to the forefathers of the movement.
The Sonic Youths and yeah.
Yeah, which all of my favorite bands from that era, they all reference Pixies as being an influence and pretty much widely accepted that they are the grandparents of sort of the modern grunge movement or whatever. So I went down a very deep hole on this song and definitely got the things you're saying, Russ, about, religion with Mary Magdalene and all that stuff. Interestingly, so when you look at each of these verses, if you think of them as the arc of a relationship from start to finish, each verse is the arc of a relationship from start to finish. Hey, been trying to meet you is how it starts. And at the end, if you go, I will surely die. That's just within 5 lines of the first verse.
Yeah.
And then the second one is like, said the man to the lady. So like right at the beginning of the passionate sex part of your relationship. And then at the end, it's like, is the sound that the mother makes when the baby breaks, which to get away from the jokes or whatever.
Yep,
like
you're right.
We've lost a baby in my family, and like when a baby breaks, the sound of a mother starts with sex and ends with this tragic fucking moment or whatever.
That's heavy.
So,
good,
and then there's all this we're chained stuff in between. And so to me, this song is this idea that we are helpless to our own desires and lust and need for these relationships that will ultimately crush us. Even in the best of circumstances, there's just going to be pain and sacrifice and reality after the glow of the passion and the lust and the starting point kind of wears off. And that's either going to be through the end of the relationship or the tragedy of life that will ensue, no matter how you slice it, because of the relationship. Even if it's the best possible thing that could have ever happened to you, you're still going to deal with like, you know, I love my wife, man. She's fucking dope. We'll be together forever unless she kills me, which is not off the table.
It's possible.
And we will suffer. We have suffered together for the last 18 years, and we will continue to suffer together, sometimes because of each other, sometimes in spite of each other, sometimes arm in arm against the world or whatever. And this song to me
sometimes
is
for each other. Yeah.
Interestingly simple, almost minimalist approach to that concept. And have you all looked at the tarot card theory around this song?
No,
do tell.
Okay. So to the religious kind of mystical undertones here, if you go look at the devil tarot card, like go look it up if you can right now.
Yeah.
The image is a devil sitting on a throne with a man and a woman on either side chained to the throne. And so the lyrics, there's a devil between us and we're chained to the devil. And the woman has a tail that's like fruit and like this like blackberry type situation that's like fertility and like all this like sort of whatever. And the man has this tail that's like fire and like fucking passion and lust and all this stuff. But they're both, because of the connection of those two things, they are chained to ultimately the like devil of, you know, the fact that they fucking you cannot escape the fact that the fire and the fruit have to come together. They're chained to the fucking reality and all the struggle.
Oh, I love
it.
It's
really interesting.
How cool.
Really interesting. So this song, when I would like first listen to it, I was like, okay, cool. I can't take credit. Like all that's internet research and like fucking, you know, going and digging through a bunch of shit. But I listened to it at first and was like, this is cool because it's minimalist. And then like there's these really like mellow kind of, you know, chordal structures that have this clean guitar, kind of echoey, you know, tremolo vibe. And then you get these really big grungy, you get these grungy overtones, these moments. And it's like, when you start thinking of it in the context of the sweetness and the sourness of relationships and the quiet times and the really loud and chaotic times and the like straightforward, peaceful times and the fucking oh shit moments. The song started like becoming very layered as I listened to it over and over and kept looking into it.
Damn, that's great. So are you saying that you made the turn on the Pixies like in the last 2 weeks? You said you were late to the game. What do you mean like
I wasn't that late. I didn't just, but I've never really done a deep dive into the Pixies.
Okay.
So I know them and I've listened to them. And, you know, when I got into music in earnest in my mid to late 20s and really was like creating music and being a part of bands and stuff, you can't escape the idea that the Pixies they're a pivotal force in where we've all kind of landed within the rock and roll pantheon. But I've never sat and like consumed entire records. I've never sat and dug through their catalog. So this song was new to me. Listening to Hey was cool. A new experience, which was cool.
Well, that's awesome.
It was super fun.
I knew I wanted to do a Pixie song for this episode, and I was kind of like wafting before between like this and Bone Machine, and then Gigantic, which is like about a chick who is like fucking a black dude. It's just like It's so great, and it's like Kim Deal singing this really sweet song about dating this big dude. But this one, I think, even playing back into that that tarot card thing, like Kim Deal's bass line is very melodic and sweet, and then like the guitar that Frank's playing is like passionate and fiery, and like. And even when she's singing, she's the melodic one, and he's the frenetic one. So, like, there's a lot to that. And, but yeah, no, I think like there's a bit about this that's sort of like rebellion happens in the margins, and like it's maybe not as overtly like out there and in front as some of the other tracks we're going to listen to tonight. But it's sort of like it's through that, kind of quiet, less obvious choice that it's a minimalist, emotional restrained kind of sense of rebellion. And for me, it was just like a track that, it was music like I'd never heard before, and like that a singer could sing that way and you would feel something the way that you do. I mean, I think like, I don't know, I remember being a fifth grader or whatever, sixth grader, and like a girl made a tape with a Whitney Houston song on it, and I was like, oh wow, that's a really powerful song. But like that type of, I don't know, feeling of like having a song move you like that, I didn't really get that again until I was in college and I was making my own choices, and I got to like figure things out for myself. So that's my pick. That's my first sort of
we've
pick
talked about we talked about it before, but I mean, college is, I think, is so important, and you have to move away from your family. I tell my daughter all the time, when you go to college, you're moving away. She's like, I don't want to. I was like, she's 10, right? So I'm like, it's like you will want to, but even if you don't,
trust me,
I want to stay close.
Like for the next 9 years.
But even if you do want to stay home, like you still have to go stay at the dorms or an apartment by campus, and you can just go to like UT 20 minutes away and come here every weekend to do your laundry or whatever, but you cannot live here during college. You will not grow up the way you're supposed to if you're at my house, like when you're in college, because you won't make the mistakes that you need to make to become an adult. So that's good. I'm a big fan. One last thing about old Black Francis. You know that he drew inspiration from a UFO sighting from his childhood, which led to his obsession with the sci-fi themes in his music.
Wow, that's awesome.
Excellent.
I spent a little more time reading into Kim Deal for reasons we'll get into in a little bit, but she actually just put out a record this last year, and it is excellent. It's her maybe one and only solo record, and you guys should definitely put that on your playlist because it's real good.
All right, I like it.
Hell yeah.
It's a shit pick!
All right, so that's pick one. Moving over to pick number two, we've got Rustical on board. What do you got? What do you got for us tonight, sir?
My first pick tonight is from the legendary Jimi Hendrix. This is off the Are You Experienced album, and it is Purple Haze. Okay, so Jimi Hendrix, born in Seattle, Washington, 1942, widely recognized as one of the most creative and influential musicians of the 20th century, known for his flamboyant take on psych rock and his groundbreaking use of the electric guitar. Hendrix redefined the instrument itself with blazing solos, as we all know, my favorite part of guitar music. Filled with fuzz, feedback, and distorted sounds, his music remains as revolutionary today as it was when he launched his career back in the mid-60s. Hendrix's powerful stage presence and thrilling guitar tricks often overshadowed his immense talent as a songwriter and producer. However, he was equally renowned for his ability to combine blues, R&B, and rock styles in innovative ways. His mostly critical acclaimed albums, being Are You Experienced, Axis, Bold as Love, and Electric Ladyland, rank among the most influential and enduring in rock history. Songs like Purple Haze, my pick tonight, and Little Wing and All Along the Watchtower remain timeless classics, even though Bob Dylan wrote the latter, right? But it was his version that everybody knows, or at least that I know, that I know of everyone who knows, right? So
I'm with you. No, it is.
What about the Dave Matthews Live at Red Rocks version, though? Isn't it? Everybody knows
Oh
that
my
one
God.
the most.
That's what it was missing.
Goes to sleep and Yep.
As a restless innovator, right, Hendrix was at the forefront of creating new guitar sounds and experimental approaches to music production, and his studio work often involved cutting-edge recording techniques, and he even influenced the design of guitar effects pedals and amplifiers. In 1970, Hendrix suffocated on his own vomit while intoxicated with barbiturates, unfortunately. Despite his early passing at 27, Hendrix was remarkably productive, releasing several influential albums and touring extensively. His career was marked by incredible highs, from his iconic Woodstock performance to being one of the first Black musicians to headline the Monterey Pop Festival, the other being Otis Redding, which was there at the same time. So Hendrix's experimental approach brought a new dimension to rock music and pushing boundaries and redefining expectations, right? And Purple Haze is one of Hendrix's most iconic songs, celebrated for the innovative guitar work and the experimental sound. Yet the song itself was written quickly during a downtime period for the band. The band had just wrapped a tour and had a few days off, which bassist Noel Redding and drummer Mitch Mitchell were just practicing the song regularly. Hendrix started with a three measure intro that, according to Redding, felt like the spirit of the song, and then he extended it into a 9 measure intro, right? And then, you've got like the cryptic, enigmatic lyrics that he does. And Hendrix claims to have written the song after having a dream about a guy whose mind had been altered by the purple haze of the universe. And then everyone's just like, shut the fuck up, dude. You do a lot of LSD. We all know you do. Like, don't hide it. It's whatever. But anyway,
he also went on to be like, no, it was this chick that put like a voodoo thing on me in some city, like, that I fell in love with. And it's like, all right, yeah, you're on acid. Go ahead.
Yeah. My introduction to Jimmy was when I was 11. I had been rummaging through like my dad's stuff, which I regularly did because he always had cooler stuff than I had. And, I wanted to get into it. I mean, I didn't know if I even knew what I was doing. I was just kind of looking through his stuff, and he had some tapes that were in the house, and I was going through, and I found the Are You Experienced cassette, and I was like, oh. And at the time, I had absolutely no desire to listen to it. I didn't even know what it was. And I was about to put it back, and my mom walked in on me and just like in true pearl clutching fashion snatches the fucking cassette out of my hand and tells me I would never be allowed to listen to it because it would make me do drugs and die. I'm 11. I'm like, my 11 fucking year old brain blown, right? I'm like, what?
Yes, ma'am.
And so
I'm listening to a tape. Death by tape?
Yes. It was like, like you would talk about like fire and brimstone of all kinds of things, right? Like, get it from church, get it at home, like, oh. So a quick aside, my mom wouldn't let me play electric guitar because all of her brothers played electric guitar, and they were all burnouts or drunks or dead from drinking or drugs, and she blamed the electric guitar for that, not the upbringing or any of that shit, It's just like...
Clearly the electric guitar's fault. Obviously.
It was the electric guitar's fault, so I wasn't allowed to have one.
God damn you, Bob Dylan!
Let's be honest about what my number one priority became at the moment the Hendrix tape was ripped out of my tiny hand, right? Like, I had to listen to it. I had to know what that was about. And it didn't matter how long it took or when the time was going to happen. Like, I had to make it happen. And I remember just smiling and looking at her and saying, okay. And like, went off to play, but like the gears were fucking turning, right? And so I gave it a couple days.
Dear diary.
Yes.
Yeah, we will accomplish something new.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
The one that calls herself mother has forbidden me from doing something that I will now do.
Next day, mom's like, I read your diary. I said never. Go ahead.
So I let a couple days go by, maybe a week. I didn't go anywhere near that. I was like, hey, I'm fucking staying away. Like, you don't have to worry about me, Mom. I'm like, okay. And I didn't have a tape player, but my dad had bought this little boom box. I had no Teddy Ruxpin or anything like that. We weren't cool enough to have one of those. I had a cousin who did. So
rookie mistake.
I Yeah, I love the idea that you had one and listen to music with it. That's amazing. But anyway, so my dad bought a CD player tape combo boombox like used from some guy he worked with, and the dude like threw in a bunch of CDs with it. And one of those, I don't know if you guys remember me mentioning, but one of them was Clint Black's "Killing Time."
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Which
now we need Jeff back. We need some 90s country knowledge in the room. Anybody else's mom play that for them in the car? No? Okay.
Yes. No. I don't know about Clint Black. I brought it up. He didn't say anything, so I don't know. But anyway, so I was like, okay, we have the CD player and there's a Clint Black thing anyway. So I'm forming this idea of like, okay, they're okay with this fucking CD and stuff. And sometimes I get to, listen to music or whatever on it. Anyway, so the day I plan to make my move, I do a flyby to where the tape was and it's missing. Of course, right? It's a total bummer. Like, she's not just like, don't do it. She's like, don't do it. And I'm not going to even let you have the opportunity to. And so I figured, she'd either thrown it away or hit it really well or something. I tried searching around for it like as discreetly as I could, but like I just always felt like there were eyes on me and I was really trying not to get caught because my plan would turn to shit if I get caught. So I'm like, okay, I can be patient here. Sometime later, I don't even know how long it was, a week, 2 weeks, something, I don't know more. It's like a Saturday and my dad's like, he asked me to get something out of his like old brown and tan diesel Suburban, his cigarettes or something. And so I go into the truck to get them and there in the fucking like
console
right next to the cigarettes.
Yeah, like the console area. Like, yeah, it was the fucking tape. And I'm like, hell yeah. Oh shit. I was like, score. So I open the case, like I'm sitting there like, oh, I'm getting those cigarettes done. Like open the case and I pull out the tape and I slip it in my pocket. Close the case, put it back, grab the cigarettes, give them back to him.
I love real quick that the cigarettes are not the contraband in this story. The Jimi Hendrix tape is. As an 11-year-old, you're like, got your smokes, pa, but you pocketed the tape of music. That's like off
well, and
limits.
also that you had the wherewithal to like take the tape out, but then leave the case so that it looked like it was still there. It's just like, and it's
like Brad Pitt and George Clooney were right behind him.
Right,
like, we're gonna pull this off. We're getting in that fucking car.
So I give him cigarettes and I go to my room to like hang out a little bit and like hide the tape, and then I wait until closer to the end of the day, in which case I very innocently ask if I can borrow the CD boombox player with the Clint Black CD because everybody likes that, and I also grabbed these like big ass headphones they had and proceed to go to my room and I make myself listen to the full album. This is, I do believe, why I like this album, because I would have never listened to it before. I didn't like it before, but I'm like,
with headphones,
I'm gonna listen to this
like
fucking
in
album
headphones
with headphones in there, right? So I wanted to be seen with headphones
Chef's
on,
kiss.
just in case. And so I'm sitting there listening to this entire album all the way through, and I'm just like, I'm hoping someone sees what I'm doing, or maybe doesn't. I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know. Anyway, so I'm getting there and like we're getting close to the end. It's like the second to last song or something. And oh man, like my mom comes in. She's like, what are you listening to? Why do you have the headphones on? I'm like, what? She's like, let me have those. So I'm like, okay. And she puts them on as the fucking Clint Black Killing Time song is playing. And you see her like relax and say, okay. I'm like, okay, so yep, listening to some depressed dude drowning his sorrows in booze, way better than hearing an electric guitar. But okay, whatever. But,
yeah, sure.
But it was what I needed to cast all doubt on. Oh, yeah, that's it.
It's
man.
a long
And
game.
so,
I love this game you're playing. You're like, I'm going to listen to the Clint Black record because she's going to come in, and we're gonna see to doubt this shit. Yeah, we're gonna use
this
this
whole time you were listening to the Clint. Oh, okay, I missed that.
You, dude,
I missed
this is a Clooney pit. This is Ocean's 14 shit going on right now.
I listened to it from beginning to end. She came in on like the 9th out of 10th song or whatever.
Perfect.
And then like demanded to hear what I was listening to, and I was like, here it is. Well, actually, I pulled them off and gave them to her, and she's like, okay, you're good. And so I was like, okay. Put it back on, finish the CD, went and did something else. And then my dad came in. I was like closer to bedtime at that point. He's like, okay, you're going to take the CD player out. I was like, Dad, can I just keep it in my room tonight? And like, I just want to listen to that CD again tomorrow. I really like it or whatever. And he's like, and my mom is immediately like, no. And, but he liked that CD. He's like, nah, it's going to be fine. So yeah, you can do it. That's not a problem. I'm like, thanks, Dad. So I I was in the clear. I'm like, great. So I laid in bed for hours, just staring under the door, waiting for the light to go out. And I swear it was a Saturday, so they were up fucking late. So I'm just like sitting there, like it's got to be like 4 hours just waiting. Because the second I put them on, if they're awake, someone's coming in my fucking room. I know
This
it.
is an amazing story.
Epic. So good.
It's a stupid story,
So
but
good.
I'm 11. What else do I have to do in my life? Anyway, so finally the light turns off and like the exhilaration was just so strong. And I'm just like, oh my God. But then I'm like, no, I gotta wait. So I waited like 30 more minutes. I'm dying
God.
to know like this. And finally I'm like, okay, everyone's asleep. I quietly go to the bathroom, kind of like look around, like, nope, all the lights are off. I'm good. Go back to my room. I get my shitty little toy flashlight. I go to my little hiding space. I pull out the fucking tape. And I retrieve the tape. I kind of shine my flashlight on it, get it on side A, put it in there, hit rewind, slip on those big headphones, hit play, lay down on the floor, and Purple Haze just starts playing.
Jesus Christ.
And the second the guitar kicks in, I'm in fucking love. I'm like, whoa, I've like never heard anything like this. I'm like, this is amazing. And I feel it through my entire body. And then Jimmy's voice comes in, but it's only on the right side. It's so fucking disorienting. Clip Black is right down the middle. Everything I've ever heard on headphones is right down the middle. Like that song, he is only on the right side, which is crazy still. And I'm sitting there and it's just so disorienting. I'm like, this song is making me high. I'm getting high right now. This is like, I'm 11, right? I'm like, whoa. And like, I am freaking out, but it's really exciting too. And then on the left side, they start fucking like, he starts talking. There's like a little bit of talking and chatter on the left side. And then finally they start singing, but it's like a definite double, but not a tight double. It's a very loose double. And so like, they're not matching up. And I'm just like, whoa. And when it's done, like, I hit pause and I am like in a constant state of like my mind being blown while simultaneously melting down. I'm just like, I don't understand. After that, I hit rewind and I listened to it like 3 times in a row. And then I just stayed up and I listened to the entire album all the way through, maybe 2 or 3 times. I was just up all night. And I was like, this is the most insane shit I've ever heard. It was so amazing. And then I was thinking to myself, no, Jimmy, I am not experienced, but I want to be.
But help me through it, Jimmy. This is
Show
a
me
good
your
cautionary
ways.
tale for overprotective parents everywhere. If you hold back too much, your kids will experience the shit out of the thing that you don't want them to experience. Maybe to a level that wouldn't have even happened had you not made it a thing.
Right, exactly. But I was just like, am I high? Is this high? Is this how you get high? I don't even know. I don't even know what high means. Just was. Anyway, so that was my intro into music that made me feel things.
Also why I became a huge slut in college. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
That's exactly right. Yeah. You gotta wait for marriage. You're gonna hate sex until you're married. Let's test that theory.
Bet.
It was basically like you, Dave, where like I had only ever heard like the vanilla shit my mom had played and stuff. And like my dad listened to better music, but she didn't really let it happen while we were in the car with him. Every once in a while we'd hear, but it would be like James Taylor or whatever. And that's fine, but it's not fucking Jimi Hendrix.
It's not fucking Jimmy, no doubt.
No, it is not. I had a history teacher in 8th grade. It was like the class in the temporary building. You went outside into a little like shack
the
situation
portable,
to like learn about history or whatever. And this guy made a point to bring up Jimi Hendrix on a daily basis. He would teach us history. He'd be talking about whatever, U.S. history, European history, anything. And every time he could be like, and Jimi Hendrix is the greatest guitar player of all time, and here's some evidence why. And he would bring something, Jimmy, to the table.
He's doing the Lord's work out there.
No, he's doing God's work, 100%.
You say it enough times, you're gonna be like, okay, who is Jimi Hendrix? I have to go listen to him.
It was in there. It was in there.
Yeah.
And what's so cool, man, Jimi Hendrix, like he, you talked about him being innovative and what he brings to his time and place in the world. We didn't have a trillion different foot pedals for guitars and a trillion different tricks in the studio and, Logic Pro and Pro Tools and all these fucking crazy things. This is back in an era where to get sounds, they were mechanically kind of creating these sounds. They were using tape loops. They were recording shit in headphones and moving it around near a microphone to get echo sounds. And this song is the birth of Octavia, which is if you're a guitar nerd out there in the world knows, it is a very popular now and famous sort of pedal that you can buy that creates an octave tone to your guitar.
Oh, okay.
So when you're shredding a pitch and solo and you hear that like where there's an octave hitting every note, that's Octavia. And so this, like the dude who created that worked with Jimi to create this like effect for this song, for this album that they used. And he's like left-handed, playing a right-handed guitar turned upside down. He uses his thumb for the high E or low E or whatever the fuck it is when you're left-handed upside down. I can't do the math on that. I'm not smart enough, but his thumb's involved a lot more than most people's, you know? And he's one of those dudes. There's stories of him where it was like, he went through whole phases where people would talk to him and he would answer playing his guitar. Like he was so enamored with learning guitar and playing guitar and being good at it. He had it on him all the time, walked around with it on him, and people would literally talk to him and he would play as a function of his communication. I mean, and it's funny because we live in this world now where you look at the internet and there's all these children that can do these crazy things. And it's all this scaffolding of people learning from the person before them and before them. And you see these insane things that probably wouldn't or couldn't exist in the 60s.
Right.
But when you listen to Jimi, to your point, man, it holds true right now. 2025, I can listen to Jimi and my fucking brain is still melting and my face is melting listening to what he did with the guitar. And that was without all the tricks. He didn't have a studio full of fucking ways to fix the sound and make it better and do the crazy shit.
He didn't even have a sound to base it on. He's like, we have to make a new sound.
It was him. It was exactly.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And you hear these stories of like, Paul McCartney and like, you know, some of these other like major hitters in the 60s that went to see him early on in his career that were all like, fuck. like the Beatles were like crazily intimidated by what Jimi Hendrix was doing. You know, that's an endorsement, you know, when the Beatles are like, what the fuck?
Yo, yeah.
What you got anything else, Russ, on that one?
I was just going to thank my mom for changing my life through censorship.
Hell yeah.
Her and Tipper Gore doing the Lord's work again.
Oh, yeah. She wouldn't have voted for Tipper Gore because she's a woman, but she definitely liked her.
It's fair. Yeah, it's super fair. Too emotional.
All right. Well, next up, we're going to take a quick break for a new feature on the pod. It's going to be the Six Picks Music Club Music History Minute. So we'll be right back.
Music History Minute. We'll dig in their dirt. Rock stars are people, but way more pervert. One fuck of a ride through their dicks and their jugs. Music History Minute is like sex on drugs.
On today's date of recording, August the 20th, in 1992, a U.S. doctor filed a $35 million lawsuit against the Southwestern Bell Telephone Company, alleging that his wife died because he could not reach 911 because all of the lines were being jammed by the demand of Garth Brooks concert tickets. So that was in 1992.
Blame it all on my roots. Showed up in boots and ruined your wife's heart attack.
Oh, boy. That's great. So on today's date, 1969, it was the last time that all four Beatles were together in the Abbey Road studios as they compiled the track order and preliminary master tape of Abbey Road. And then lastly, in 1966, on this date, Pantera guitarist Dimebag Darrell was born in Ennis, Texas. On the date likely of this publication is September 10th, Nirvana released Smells Like Teen Spirit, 1991. The inventor of vinyl, Waldo Seaman, was born in 1898.
Sorry, the inventor of who? Mr. Seaman, you said?
Seaman?
Oh.
Mr. Seaman?
Seaman?
S-C.
It's
Seaman?
Dumas.
Seaman. Simone. Waldo Simone. And then in 1974, the New York Dolls broke up on this day. So that's Music History Minute. You heard it here on Six Picks Music Club's Music History Minute. Tell your friends.
Music History Minute is like sex on don't you feel like you did a line off the urinal and bagged some strange?
All right, well, let's get back into it. Pick number 3 tonight's going to be our guest with his first pick.
Welcome to the middle pick fuckers.
JM, when you were a wee lad, what was the track that you selected for your first rebellious pick tonight?
I'll tell you what it was. And before I tell you what it was, I'll tell you how I got a hold of it.
Don't just tell me, tell listener.
Listener, do you want to know too? Okay. The way this came to be in my possession was through a little thing called Columbia Music House, baby. And for just 99 cents, you too,
dude,
could have a whole grip of new CDs. And my folks got me a CD player, and it was one of those old school cabinet ones where like the speakers were built in and there was a spot for your CDs underneath the CD player. And I got this thing in, and I got my Columbia House, and I got my CDs shipped to me. This is at a time when my mom made me read the lyrics out loud to her for every CD I brought into the home as like a pass the test to be allowed to do the thing.
Yeah. How did that Easy E one go?
It was great. She loved it. She's a big fan of the N-word, but that's not the point. Just kidding. She's not actually racist.
Back
just
to the
kidding,
fucking
Mom.
basis.
She's definitely not going to listen to this, but also I felt guilty about that one. This record came in and absolutely blew my mind. Much like you, Russ, this was one of those where I sat and listened to it and could not shake the absolute deconstruction of my personhood after kind of getting a feel for this. And it is by the band called 9 Inch Nails off the EP Broken. It's a little tune called Wish. That'll smack your little 6-year-old brain right down into the mire.
Holy hell. No shit.
It accosts you. So 9 Inch Nails, Trent Reznor, everybody knows. He's had a rotating cast of characters that have been a part of 9 Inch Nails lore over the years. This is a band formed in Ohio, oddly enough, in 88. Ohio feels like the wrong birthplace of 9 Inch Nails. I feel like it should have
It does.
9 Inch Nails should have been like shit out of a rat somewhere in like inner city New York or something. Like it shouldn't have been.
Yes.
Shouldn't have been like somewhere in a cornfield. Trent Reznor was just like conjuring Satan with drum machines. But you know, that's how it went down.
The skeletal remains of the Ford factory in Detroit. Sure.
Dude. And this song, Reznor and this dude Flood, Mark Ellis, produced this thing. Flood, AKA Mark Ellis. He also produced for like Depeche Mode, New Order, U2, Ministry. He's, a lot of different on his list of accolades. This song won a Grammy in '93 for the best metal performance, which is pretty exciting.
That's right.
And it was funny because in response to that, Reznor was being interviewed, and one of his responses to winning the Grammy was that he wanted his epitaph to read, "Here lies Trent Reznor, said fist fuck, got a Grammy," which I thought was a pretty excellent take on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to nerd out on the music of this. So first of all, this track, this is a long time ago. Again, kind of at the beginning of, and really Trent Reznor's kind of a big part of the industrial music revolution, Skinny Puppy and a handful of others, but really like Trent and 9 Inch Nails codified what it means to be like industrial metal, that era of music. And there's a bunch of things that happened here. So in this song, what's really cool is it's not a complicated hook. It's not a complicated melody. It's so that's it. The whole fucking song. What drives this song is the drums. The drums of this song, there are like 4 or 5 different layers of drums going on here. And Martin Atkins, who of Ministry fame, and he was Pigface and Killing Joke and a bunch of other like badass bands of that era, was the drummer on the track, even though Chris Verena was the drummer of the band and who was like in the video for this song. So there's like, they brought this ringer in to do the actual track, or Trent brought this ringer in to do the actual track. He credits the inspiration of the core of these drums to Ballroom Blitz. So when you think about it's got this psychobilly, like rockabilly kind of like train chuggy Ballroom Blitz vibe, but then they layer in all these drum loops and different things. There's even a section of this song that has this tribal like tempe drum, or I don't know what it is, but it's like hand drum, or like one of these kind of like Asiatic drum scenes that in the breakdown of this song. So when you layer this song up, you have this really chugging fast rockabilly thing, and then under that there's this halftime drum beat that's like boom boom ga, boom boom ga, that's almost off time, and then it's layered with these other components. So the drum layering of this song it's almost more soundscape, like sound design, than it is music.
Can one person play this song correctly?
So what's interesting is they do this song live and it's brilliant. But what's interesting about seeing this song live versus listening to this on the track is it is a much more powerful, straightforward version of the song, because the drummer has to choose the components of the drum tracks. Now there's samples and there's, they're obviously still able to layer, but there's a great, one of probably the second most watched video of this song is a live version of this song from the 90s. And it's really mostly live drums, and it's really brilliant. It is more straightforward. It's less cognitive dissonance in your ears, but it still has that same driving intensity and everything, and almost kind of crystallizes some of the music a little bit more because your brain isn't working so hard to work out what's going on with all these layers or whatever. So you can.
We should have that in the show notes. I think that would be cool to.
Yeah, you might link. There's a really great link to a couple of these. And the actual video is this hyper violent, like, perfect industrial rock, like, quintessential 90s thing. And
is
then
that the one where they're in the cage?
Yeah, they're in the cage and all these guys are coming in with like bats and shit trying to get at him, and they finally get at him at the end, and like MTV wouldn't air the original ending because the band succumbs to the mob or whatever. So that's really cool. And then they've got all these noises layered in. There's these sounds of like breathing almost, and sort of like with these really abrupt stops. So it's an organic sound, but with a very mechanical start and stop point.
Oh, yeah.
And then they've got a lot of other cool stuff that goes on. There's actually another thing that Dixie could maybe put in the notes that is a link to this lady who breaks down she has a track by track version of this song and she'll go through and isolate different tracks and talk about what the drums do and what the sounds and all the sound design and everything is. And it's like a 25-minute long video. So it's, pack a lunch, but it is really interesting to like watch through that and kind of understand all the transitions. All of that to say, what this creates is this like crunchy, screaming, mechanical, but organic, confusing space musically, sonically, to layer Trent Reznor's vocals. His vocal performance in this is amazing. The lyrical content is not necessarily poetic in nature. It's not something that you need to go and spend a ton of time, trying to dig in to understand what's going on necessarily. Maybe his motivation, but not the purpose. But the way that he delivers the vocals is in this almost like it's making fun of you in the tone of his voice. You gotta listen to the big time hard line, bad luck. He's just coming at it with this attitude that is mocking in its delivery.
It's kind of sassy.
But also super fucking angry and super aggressive.
Right.
And for a young kid who was like not feeling what was going on around me, boy, was it a sweet spot to land. Because I put this record on and listened to the song and was like, holy fucking shit. It absolutely blew my mind. Guitars, the vocals, everything about it. The thing about this song for me, is I was raised in a very religious household, very conservative ideals. We were a nuclear family. We had my older brother was an athlete. My older sister was very pretty. And, everybody was doing just what they were supposed to be doing. And I, at a very young age, was very curious and asked a lot of questions and really I was bad at accepting at face value the things that were presented to me. So about a year before I got a hold of this song, I started really questioning a lot about religion and in the church. And I was getting in a lot of trouble because I was asking questions. And when I would get answers of like, just have faith or because of this, I didn't say, okay.
What's your age at this point? Are you like 12 or 13 or?
When this record came out, I was 12. Yeah. When I got this album, I was 12. So I was like 6th grade, about to go into 7th, maybe somewhere in that range, early middle school. And in the kind of back parts of my brain, I had realized that I had fundamental questions about religion that couldn't be answered by my family. I had fundamental questions about who I was and what I stood for that couldn't be provided by my family. But I was still afraid to verbalize that. I was still afraid to recognize it or to give it language or to give it definition.
Sure.
It was a feeling more than it was a cohesive thought. And then I got this record, and this record says directly, I put my faith in God and my trust in you, and there's nothing more fucked up I could do. And I was like, that maybe is how I'm feeling right now. And
that's the vocabulary I was missing.
That's the words I was looking for, Trent. Yeah,
this one didn't come with a lyric sheet, Mom. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what he's saying. It's really hard to understand. I think he said something about
a lot of.
It's like a flower or something.
I put my faith in God, I think. Yeah, I think that's all I heard.
Wish you have a great day. And
yeah. Wishing. Like a wishing well. Yeah. Pennies. It's fun.
Covers like a birthday candle, something. Blown out cake candle. Yeah.
Totally. This kicked off a lifelong love of Nine Inch Nails for me. This record did. And then I went back and got Pretty Hate Machine. And then, a couple of years later, Downward Spiral came out. And I've followed Nine Inch Nails kind of forever. I went through a very intense sort of goth industrial rock phase of my life that in my mind was really more of a pendulumatic swing that was necessary for me to find the middle. It was, I was born and pulled very far this direction, the right, let's say, just to pick a side.
No coincidence there.
And maybe I took it a little farther back than center to find my middle ground. But this record also was a big hit with my friends at the time. And it also became this galvanizing factor between all of our group. And so we would sit and listen to records like this and Primus Pork Soda and, these other records that had come out kind of in the same era, and Skinny Puppy. And it just helped us believe that what we were feeling didn't make us crazy and it didn't make us alone. It made us a part of some other group that had something else to consider or say or think. One of the tough things about the 90s was there was so much anger involved in the rebellion against what the status quo looked like that it was cataclysmic for a lot of, Kurt died and people died and, it became this self-destructive era that was so caught up in pushing away the things that were supposed to be innate to our existence and the way that we function within society and within our structures socially, that it was self-destructive. And I always talk about with my wife, I always talk about how pendulumatic swings are the curse of our society, is that we can't ever find the middle because we're so busy correcting that we overcorrect everything.
Oh, that's good. That's smart.
No matter which way you're looking or whatever, we can't ever, if someone is oppressed, we have to oppress the oppressor. We can't just get it to a world of no oppression.
Right.
We got to give you your comeuppance, right? We've got to fuck you back. And so to me, that this whole time in life and this whole generation was about fucking something back. And I was there for it. I don't know that I was necessarily better for it. I went through a lot of really rough times, throughout between this and finding some version of stability as an adult, but it was necessary. It was the pressure testing that was required to get me out of my safe zone and my safe space and make me think in a way that was not being offered to me by anybody or anything around me at the time. And I really latched onto it hard. And this song is right at the heart of that moment for me.
We were watching something recently. I cannot remember what it was, but there was there was like a mom talking to her friend about their like teenager who was just acting out and like, I hate you, blah, 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 or something like that. And she's like, dude, just fucking chill out. It's cool. This is the friend saying this to the mom. Like, it is like, it's biology. Like, their bodies are going through this thing where they have to hate you so they can leave the nest and go get their own life. Like, it's just part of fucking, it's just how it is. It's nature right there. So, like, just take a break. They'll come back. They'll come back.
The problem for me was I was 11 or 12. So it was like, fuck, I got a long time before I can get a job and afford to get the fuck out of this nest, you know? It's going to be uncomfortable.
Sorry, guys. I'm going to really ruin your life for a good half decade. It's going to be okay.
We got a few years left here. It's going to be ugly.
You're going to wish you didn't raw dog this night 12 years ago.
Oh, boy. Yeah, you already had two sort of locked up. You know, you're all banged away, and now you just, you know.
One boy, one girl. What were you thinking?
Just reset your timer 18 years.
I was God's little surprise, Russ. That's directly from my mom. Yeah.
And now she was thinking, maybe you're the devil's little surprise.
This was about the same time I was like, was I a mistake? She was like, no. You were God's little surprise. It's like, I fucking know what that means. Damn it. Put my faith in God, my trust in you.
Well, so as a dad of an 11-year-old myself currently, like it's an interesting thing because like obviously we all have these upbringings that have sort of shaped who we are as people, and I think probably shaped how we, you know, approach being fathers, and so I have no doubt in my mind that like that in spite of all of my, you know, good intentions, like I'm gonna fuck up something. Like I don't know what it is that like my kids are gonna rebel against, but it's going to be something, right? Like there will be something where they have to go and, you know, find themselves outside of like our house, our community, or whatever. And I, you know, we're pretty open and talk about a lot of different, you know, things that my family didn't talk about when I was growing up. So like I feel like there's part of me that's setting them up for a better opportunity, but at the same time, I also like, I don't know, maybe they'll just like completely rebel in a different way.
Listen,
I don't know.
My wife and we call this the Alex P. Keaton version of rebellion, which is, we've been worried about this since my oldest child was a baby, is we rebelled against our parents to the left and to, you know, open-mindedness and all of this stuff, very much like the parents in Family Ties. So now what you're going to get as a result is a child who rebels by being
the Young Republican,
part of the Young Republicans Club and wearing a sports coat to high school and stuff, because that is the opposite of you. Rebellion is just the opposite of the thing that you've been handed. So you just cook up whatever you think that might look like, and, you know, there's a chance. Maybe not. You might get lucky. But Alex P. Keaton,
around 15,
scary.
You start going to Republican rallies. Just be like, we're Republicans now. Here we go.
100%. Just reverse psychology.
Long
here
game.
We go. Long game. That's right.
Get into it.
That's right. We're fiscally conservative.
I'm doing the exact opposite of what was done to me. Like, you know, where I was like locked up. I'm like, fuck that. Here we go. Whatever you need, it's fine. It's good. Don't worry about it. Like, listen to what you want to listen to. Like, we can talk about anything. It's going to be fine. Like, because it exactly, fuck the oppressor. Let's fuck the oppressors. Let's go. And
that's right.
I mean,
like,
or overcorrecting.
You didn't give me enough rules. Like, I don't have structure. I can't do things because you were too free with me. Right. I don't know.
Meanwhile, my 17-year-old just bought a pair of overalls, and I'm like, what have I done? What have I done?
Man,
Dad, I'm going to ag school. You're like, fuck.
It's okay. It's gonna be fine.
He'll grow out of it.
He'll grow out of it. He'll become rebellious the right way soon. I'm sure of it. I keep being like, hey, I left my gummies on the counter. I hope you don't get into them. Yeah, totally. Like, you're house sitting for some friends with a pool. I left some condoms on the back porch in case you want to invite your girlfriend over. Yeah. It's up to you. Not my business. It's like, Dad, we don't do that. We got to vote next year when we turn 18. We can't be pregnant. Like, fuck, what did I do?
Wow. Yeah, you can't be pregnant and vote. That's true.
Oh, yeah,
Project 2025. Here we go.
Come on, baby. Handmaid's Tale. Anyhow.
Well, dude, that is a great pick. I'm excited to say that looking through Setlist FM at the current tour they're on, the Peel It Back tour, this is a track that they have been playing pretty consistently. And I'm actually going to be at the Dickies Arena the weekend after this show comes out, like September the 14th or something, to watch Nine Inch Nails.
How old is he now? Trent Reznor? Is he 60 yet?
He's close. If not, yeah, he's got to be close.
60, yeah. 1965. Turned 60 this year.
There you go. Fucking 60. Just hating on everything. I hate everyone at 60. It doesn't have the same ring. It doesn't. It does. It's a challenging perspective to age.
It's like it's like, Grandpa gonna get you. Grandpa gonna get you. You're like, wait,
Walks
what?
out. I want to fuck you like an animal, but I need a blue pill. Give me 30 minutes, baby. I'll fuck you like an animal. Hold on. Let this bitch kick in.
Feel it in your core, it's pick 4.
Oh, man. All right. Well, hell yeah. Great first track from you, JM, tonight on our Rebellion app. Let's go over to Russ. You're next with your second track tonight. What do you got?
Okay, so my second pick tonight, pick number 4, is from one of the most influential alternative rock bands of the 90s, the Smashing Pumpkins. Off of their 1995 Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness record, this is Bullet with Butterfly Wings.
Quick on JM's Connection corner of picks. Same dude from Wish, Flood, producer on this song as well. So just to connect the dots there.
Cool.
Go ahead.
All right. Okay, so Smashing Pumpkins were formed in Chicago in 1988. This band became a defining voice of a generation with their unique blend of gothic sensibilities, layered guitars, and the deeply introspective lyrics of frontman Billy Corgan. The band's early days were a whirlwind of creativity and chaos. Corgan met guitarist James Iha at a record store, and with the addition of bassist Darcy Retzky and drummer Jimmy Chamberlain, they quickly gained a reputation for their ambitious sound. Their debut album, Gish, came out in 91, was a critical success, but didn't immediately break into the mainstream. It was their second album, Siamese Dream, came out in 93, produced by Butch Vig, who did Nirvana's Nevermind, that catapulted them to stardom with tracks like Cherub Rock, Today. They're anthems for a generation of disaffected youth. But the band's journey was far from smooth, right? Internal conflicts, substance abuse, and Corgan's perfectionism took a toll. Corgan, known as a control freak, recorded almost all the guitar and bass for Siamese Dream, so not really off to a good, healthy start there as a band.
Classic move.
Yes. And this obviously caused tensions within the band as they sought to balance creativity with Corgan's perfectionist tendencies. And despite these challenges, they delivered one of the most ambitious albums of the decade, being Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. And this double album included hits like 1979 and my pick tonight, Bullet with Butterfly Wings. You know, this video was the last time anyone saw Billy Corgan with hair.
With hair. That's right. Last video proof that the motherfucker could do it.
And then he came on Saturday Night Live like in November of this year, of 95, and was bald and has yet to ever have it again. So
this video was also the debut of the Zero shirt, which became
the Zero shirt.
Iconic.
Man,
yeah.
I fucking love the Zero song
Me too, buddy.
Goddamn.
Still a classic.
I was like, ooh, if my story, I wish my story had to do with Zero because I would have picked it because I do love that song. But Okay, by the late 90s, the band's sound evolved with Adore, right? Embracing the electronic and gothic influences. Though initially divisive, this album has since been recognized as an important chapter in the discography. And, the band's legacy extends beyond the 90s with reunions and new albums. And once again, another band with classified ads, right? Billy Corgan writing classifieds. If you want to come back to the band, it'll be okay because I know I'm not allowed to call you or whatever. I don't exactly remember how that went, but... It's always just like, God damn it, Billy Corgan. Why you got to do that to yourself, man?
God bless him.
Anyway. Okay, so Bullet with Butterfly Wings, the lyrics are filled with anger and despair, right? With Corgan referring to the biblical Job, whose faith is tested by a series of disasters. The song is about the struggle of being a rock star and facing betrayal and pain. I did not realize that when I was a kid. I just really zeroed in on like the anger and rage of that song. The song's title itself is a metaphor, with the bullet symbolizing the pain and the butterfly wings representing the hope or beauty that comes with it. And the song's bridge is especially angsty and dramatic. However, Corgan has stated that some of the lyrics from this song are a joke. Okay, so this was the first single off the Melancholy album and was notably the Pumpkins' second biggest U.S. hit, coming in at number 22 on the Billboard 100, with 1979 coming in at number 12. And the song won a Grammy for Best Hard Rock Performance. Okay, so the song was Billy Corgan's idea to write like a white album for the generation of the 90s. The album contains 28 songs of melancholy and nihilism. Corgan's ambitions were criticized by the indie crowd, who called the Pumpkins careerists and fake. 14-year-old me didn't know or care about any of that. I remember hearing this song and I was drawn to it like a teen's hand to his dick. This fucker was playing on the radio and I recorded it off the radio to cassette tape and just played it over and over and over and over again because I was not allowed to have this. I was still highly like fucking censored and I had no way to get anywhere to buy something, and I tried the BMG thing and was totally shut down, and like tried Columbia by sending it in the mail with cash because and of course it never came because someone's like, there's fucking money in here. And so whatever postal service just fucking pocketed it. Like I tried every which way to like figure out how to get music into my hands and I just could not do it.
Somebody snagged your 99 cents.
Dude,
you're like, keep the penny. I put a whole $1 in this bitch. Give me my CDs.
Oh, God.
Some postman was like, fucking, I'm getting ice cream with that shit.
I probably put
90s.
99 cents in there. So it was like all jingling and shit.
You got to do laundry this week.
And so I would listen to it over and over and over again, either like really quiet or like with headphones, just whatever I could do. And like I was never really in a good spot where I could just like listen to it. And my parents were, like I said, religious, and the biblical references in the song were just like would not fly. Mm-hmm. And especially with him like ending like with like, I still believe I can't be saved. Like that's fucking sacrilege. Everybody can be saved. It's Jesus, and it's like, so like it was,
give yourself over to him. That's all you got to do.
Right. So
in your heart.
So it was, my little hidden secret of this song. Anyway, so he was just so fucking angry and I connected to that fiercely. It was weird because it became like a me versus them thing and I wasn't even at war with them, but I was like, no, this is me versus you. Like, I don't know. It was weird. And like the division, like with nothing even really happening to create that division, but this music, which I was like, I really latched onto. Anyway, so my mom had been, like I said, tough on me on like music and movies. And she would say things like, you can't rent this movie. So I would figure out how to like buy that movie, or you can't, you can't buy this CD, or you can't whatever. I was like, okay, I'm going to figure out how to like get a recording of it, or like, I'm not breaking your rules. I'm just simply skirting around them or whatever. That's how I got it like in my head, how I got around things. Anyway, I worked really hard to keep the music I wanted to listen to a secret because I just didn't want it taken away or like to get like insane like amounts of hell rained down on me for it. This one day they were gone and I had worked all like summer during like my 8th grade year to buy this Pioneer surround sound cabinet with big ass fucking speakers, and I loved it, but I could never use it the way it needed to. It was like always headphones are like really quiet, and they were gone. And so I was like, okay, today is the fucking day. And so like I remember just like hitting play on my fucking radio recorded cassette tape and like playing this song and blasting it. I'm like, you know what? If I blow the fucking speakers, it doesn't matter. I never get to use this fucking thing anyway. So I'm like playing it loud and just over and over. I had like recorded it, like made a copy of it. So it played over and over and over again on a tape for 90 minutes and whatever. And it would flip and go back and forth. I'm like, so it just was playing. I was just like in my room, the door closed. I don't know what I was doing other than just like absorbing it and just like getting fucking amped up just with like anger and rage.
Fucking
and
bad.
Yeah, just like beating my fucking chest. I don't know, like whatever, that kind of shit, 14 years old or whatever. So my doors closed. I'm blasting music. Obviously, I didn't hear them pull up. I didn't hear the car doors shut. I didn't hear the front door open. And I apparently didn't hear them knocking, which they said they did, but I'm not quite sure they did.
They're lying.
Anyway, the door fucking swings open hard and fast, and I remember being startled by it, but not flinching, which is not really my style. But like I'm in this like fucking zone. I'm like, all right, I do like a fucking like, because I'm not like a tough guy kid at all, but the weirdest thing happened. It's like I did not care about fucking anything at this moment, and I didn't brace myself for whatever punishment was coming. I knew it was coming, but I was like, I don't care. Like I had listened to the songs 20 times. 50 times maybe. I don't even know how long it had been. I was just like so fucking in the zone and was like zoned into the defiance of the song and everything. So I feel like I just did like this slow turn to look at him. And like both my dad and mom were standing in the doorway and they looked pissed. Who knows how long they heard, what they heard, if they could even understand what they were hearing. I don't know, but they were not happy about it. And then I thought to myself as I'm looking at him, like, am I going to be grounded? Are they taking away my stereo? Are they going to destroy my fucking cassette tape? And the song's fucking raw anger is just like buzzing in my fucking veins, man. And like, but something strange happened, right? Like I just, like whatever rage they brought home seemed to like dissolve when they saw me. And maybe it was like the intensity in my eyes or like the way the music's rebellious energy was like radiating off of me. But in that moment, like the fucking pumpkins were my rebellion and like my unspoken fuck you to the people trying to control me. And instead of like this explosive confrontation that I expected, they just like recoiled a little bit and just looked tired and said, "Can you turn it down?" This is like what my mom asked. Like her voice more defeated than angry. And I gave this like small, tight tooth smile, just like nodded and like lowered it down just enough to comply, but not enough to satisfy them. And they just looked at me and then they closed the door and walked away. Yeah, it felt so fucking good. It was like one of the best feelings.
I imagine this is like in Old Yeller. It's like, when the family looks at the dog and they're like, "Why are you barking?" And oh, he's got rabies. We have to put him down behind the shed tomorrow. You just go to sleep, buddy. They slowly close the door as they make plans to fucking end your existence.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
No, but we never talked about it.
Yeah, you just had your Old Yeller moment. It was not legal to kill your children back then. That was before Project 2025.
But yeah, so.
Dude, this song is fucking so great. It is. This is an opinion alert, but there are, I think, a lot of songs that probably supersede this in terms of defining the 90s grunge era. Smells Like Teen Spirit and whatever.
Oh, sure.
But the line, "Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage."
Yes.
I think that is the defining line of the era. More than any other song, more than any other lyric, like that one stanza, that one simple line, to me is, if you say that to anybody who grew up our age in that time in the 90s and was like a part of that rebellion culture and grunge culture or whatever. I have songs I like. I love this song, by the way. Love this album. Love Smashing Pumpkins. Fucking could not love it more. I have songs that I was more into at the time. But that line to me is the 90s, is the 90s teenage rebellion fucking thing. It captures the spirit of what all of it was about to me in a really intense way. So I love that you chose the song for that one line alone. It's a titular 90s fucking grunge experience.
Just not sure if you're clear on the definition of titular there, but
No, I'm not.
It does
Yeah,
make
you're right.
sense, but it makes sense to what you're saying. It is like this anthem.
So I call the 90s, despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage when I talk about it.
When were you born? I was born in 19, still rat in a cage, 5.
Exactly. So you just didn't understand how I speak about the era. It's not that I don't understand what titular means. It's that you have fucking been listening because you're a rat in a cage. That was such a fucking thing the man would say, David.
This song was everywhere. And I would be a little bit of the contrarian here to say that, like, I think that Billy Corgan is a little bit annoying. And that, like, while this song was a hit and, like, I definitely jammed it when it came out, I think this is a band that has not sort of stood the test of time with me, just because I feel like he has become insufferable to the point where it's like sublime, where I just don't even want to hear it anymore. It's just kind of like I've been so exposed to it, and I just like
he insists upon himself. He really does.
He insists upon himself. He
really does.
But but even just to say, like, I'm going to set out to write the White Album of the 90s. It's like, how fucking arrogant are we?
I mean,
he's a brilliant...
Basically comparing himself to Jesus in this song in a couple of ways, which is hopefully where he was trying to be like, yeah, some of it's joke. Because he probably got that, like, that wasn't going to land real great.
All right. Yeah, okay,
maybe.
Okay.
Right.
So let me say this.
Yeah,
to
contrarian
your contrarian, Dave, is
yeah, please.
I agree with that. Billy Corgan is insufferable. Still love Smashing Pumpkins. Still love this record and this song. And my runner-up topic for tonight was going to be cancel culture. Like the art of bands who have been dismissed because of the behavior of the members. And what does it mean to cancel art because of the artist, right? We've had this with obviously Cosby as like the kind of shining example, but you got Louis C.K., you got all these other people in the world who have been dismissed and their art has been shunned because you don't want to associate with the behavior of the human. And I think that's an interesting thing because we also have Michael Jackson in the world who is a fucking piece of shit. But his music was so goddamn good that we're like, yeah, it's true. But, I mean, like, his jams are so good, you can't really have a party without throwing Billie Jean on at some point in the evening.
And so, we really want to do the Thriller dance in our wedding.
Really need to do the Thriller dance. So we have this law of diminishing returns on how good we think the art is versus how bad the artist behaved.
Yeah.
And if the art is good enough, we tend to have a spirit of forgiveness around it. And anyway, I won't get into it because that was my second topic idea for tonight. But I think Billy Corgan is a great example of this on a very much more minor scale.
Well, that's going back to when I was saying like the fucking classifieds, like trying to get the band back together. Like, and I was just like, oh yeah, no, I mean, I agree. Like Billy Corgan is not, I would not want to meet him. I like have no interest in that at all.
No. He's got that black dress thing, that like Matrix dress thing that he wears all the time, which is like, I don't care, do your thing, but like, what are we doing?
Oh, that's an Adore. That's in the Ave Adores.
Some white dude from fucking wherever he's from, like bald head. He's got.
That's when he started wearing the makeup. He looked like Uncle Fester.
I'm like, which pill did you take, Billy? Was it red, blue? What the fuck? What are we doing,
He took them both, man.
Give me
you
the
can't
other
do
one.
a fucking double side kick on a one-hand handstand. You're not allowed to fucking put that garment on your body. I'm sorry. There's rules.
It's like, yeah, he's trying to be Death from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. But yeah, I
feel you is what I'm saying, but also I still love this song.
And I think, yeah, at the time, yeah, I had Siamese Dream, and I love that, Cherub Rock track, and I jammed the shit out of that record. This one started to get a little bit like, okay, yeah, insists on himself. But then I think just the more that it went on, I think the way that I wanted to hear, I don't know, vocal performances or singers' voices changed, and his just became this nasally, annoying little sort of like snot-nosed kid who was just like, shut up, man. Go fucking...
I always liked his voice just because of that. I'm like, this just proves that if you can write a good enough song, it doesn't matter what you sound like. Like, I just like, this opens it up for
Bob Dylan proved that.
I was going to say, yeah.
I don't really like Bob Dylan music, so it didn't mean anything to me. Bob Dylan's like, ugh, okay. It's folksy and it's old. Old people don't have any taste. But but Billy Corgan, I'm like, wow, this voice is so bad that I just love it because it's on the radio. I don't know. It was always something I just always thought was very interesting to me. But
Do your best Billy Corgan impression. Dave, go.
Well, I don't really know about wearing a hat.
All right.
It's kind of a guess. I don't really.
Russ, what's yours?
despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in the cage.
Nailed it. Here's mine. All right, move on.
Yeah. Well, it's
Wasn't
too
that
bright
awesome?
outside. I
We
need
are
to go back into my
misunderstood.
coffin.
You just came out. You just
so
released your first record. Nobody gets it. God damn it.
This is the last Smashing Pumpkins record that I'm like really aware of. I did not listen to Adore, Machina, to any of that. Anything that came after this, I was just like, nah, pass, whatever. Like,
So there's that video off the Adore album. It was called Ava Adore or whatever. And it's like this really long tracking shot. And I only liked it because I was, really into film, and it's really long tracking shot through all of these different scenes, but it's just like one, like it's a oneer. And then they get to the end and the fucking camera pans, you see the fucking track that the camera's on and everything, and it goes all the way around. And then he kind of makes his way to the other side, and then it just goes back to like all these other sets on the other side. It's like in a subway tunnel or something. I'm not exactly sure, but they had made all the sets, and I thought, man, that is fucking cool. So I watched it a bunch and then ended up liking it, even though and then the song grew on me. It was kind of a weird one. It got very electronica, and I was like, I had never listened to the rest of the album, but that was the one that was on MTV.
And then that shot, the end of that video that they cut out is actually, it pans over to Billy Corgan, and he's got headphones listening to his own records, masturbating. He's just sitting in the corner like,
it's like, oh, no. He's not. He's slow stroking it, dude.
oh,
he's
you think
just
so?
like,
I think he's got a fervent love of himself. I think it's energetic. I don't think there's anything calm about his love of his own voice or ideas.
He's like, I can go get that rat out of the cage. I'll be right back.
Oh, shit.
So that's what we're calling it these days.
Yeah. Titular.
hell
It was
yeah.
the titular
Yeah.
track of the 90s.
Well, yeah,
I know what
Russ,
it means.
that was a great song. And again, love it. Blake, our last guest, also loves it, and he would love that you picked it.
Let's take a break and chew the fat. Play that motherfucker.
Jeff, Russ, and Dave in the motherfucking chat, chewing the fat on stuff weird and whack.
Today's Chewing the Fat is brought to us by The Lonely Lounger. Are you a cuddler in need of support? Have you got a big bed with just one body in it? Are you also trying to watch videos on your phone? Look no further than The Lonely Lounger, a full-sized person-shaped body pillow with clips on the back of the head for you to slide your phone into. No more awkwardly holding your phone on your side, having to make the Sophie's choice between comfort and functionality. Have it all with The Lonely Lounger. Order your Lonely Lounger at lonelylounger.com, and with 6 picks in the coupon code, you buy one, you can get the second one for 50% off. These are limited, so don't delay. Get your Lonely Lounger today. Thanks, Dixie. That sounds like form meeting function and solving some of life's hardest problems. Let's get on to the fat. My fucking dog ate my earpods yesterday. This is the fourth pair of fucking headphones that this dog has eaten.
Yikes.
Not eaten and swallowed, so she's not like gonna die from like battery and
Just chewed to discontent, yeah.
Chewed up, yeah.
chewed to fucking smithereens.
Fun fact, Graham's least favorite mistaken old person terminology is earpods. I say earpods all the time.
Okay.
He's like, it's AirPods. It's either earbuds or it's AirPods. It's not earpods. I'm like, shut up. I fucking made you.
You whippersnapper.
Go to hell.
Go back to playing your Dig Dug games near
right.
Jerry Rafferty Records. But yeah, so I'm taking a shit, and I'd put them on the island, just like up out of the way. There was no way that she should have been able to get to him. But sure as shit, this dog is fucking counter surfing and just can get whatever she wants.
Just fucking Spidey
and she
shit.
has all these like toys and stuff that sound like she's chomping on things. And I just hear my wife from the other room be like, "God damn it, you son of a bitch. I can't believe you." And I was just like, what the fuck? What is going on? And so I ran out and it was my AirPods that the dog had chewed to shit.
Love it.
And I was like,
I like that on your
damn it.
behalf. She was pissed enough to cuss out the dog. That's love.
well, so dog ate her AirPods first, then ate my AirPods. And then I got like a cheap shit fucking JBL $50 pair, ate them too.
Yep.
And then I bought a new pair because I was just like,
You're like, you know what would be a great idea? Let's get the expensive ones again because that works out well. This dog is definitely not going to eat these.
The dog's got to be over it at this point. You guys must have delicious smelling earwax or something.
I guess, man. I guess. I think it's just like her way of getting close to us. She's like, I want to ingest your hair.
I want to be in your head.
Yeah.
Get
She's
inside
like, take
you.
me on a walk, Dad.
Well-
take me on a walk. I'll eat your fucking
that's-
AirPods. You don't take me on a
I'll
walk.
eat your fucking shit, bud.
That's probably fair. I probably should take her for more walks.
This is all your fault.
But yeah, no, I was smart enough to buy the 2+ years of Apple Care. So they're just like, oh, send us $30 and we'll send you a brand new pair.
They're covering that?
Oh, yeah.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Sounds like an act of God to me, but
Accidental damage.
All right. I didn't realize they covered dog chewing up. Okay.
Well, I didn't say the dog chewed them up. I'm gonna send them back to them. I just said there's damage. They're damaged.
you're like, look, I took them out of the case and they were all of a sudden they were in little fragments and bits.
This fucking case is defective, man. The case ate my
maybe
AirPods.
Maybe the heat. It's very hot down here.
Heat.
So I'm in Texas.
Oh, God.
teeth marks are
They're-
from hail. It's hail damage.
I want to hear how this story ends because I've.
No, they're just I got tracking information. They're sending me a new pair. I just got to send the old pair back.
I want to see what happens when they get the old pair. They're like, you can't refurbish the like.
It's gonna be like dog spit still on it. There's gonna be like a string when they pull them out. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm sure there's like
You come in this?
there's some there's some components they could probably refurbish.
You spit in this? It's like Chet from fucking Weird
Okay,
Science.
so now let's just devil's advocate this a little bit and be like, you're the guy whose job it is to open these and like figure out what to
you're
do
the
with them.
QC
You're like,
guy.
and you're just like,
Oh,
God
God.
damn it!
These
Did we already ship
fucking
it?
guys
We
again.
already shipped it? We're never getting those new ones back. See if we can charge them. Do we have a card on file?
Yeah, take your card off file.
Yeah.
You gotta kill that card.
No.
Oh, you
It's,
paid them $30.
It's Apple Pay,
it'll
dude.
be
I already paid
interesting
them
to see.
They own the
$30.
phone. The phone is the money at
Yeah.
this point. Yeah.
The phone is
So,
the money.
It's all an illusion.
I mean, at the end of the day, yeah. Either we're gonna kill the dog, or
Yeah. That's the right
Christy
answer.
Newman, right? Just
Or just let it choke on
speaking of,
earpods.
yeah, right. Just go on and eat it and see how that
Just go
yes,
and
treats your
go to
stomach
Take a
lining.
razor
Timo and
blade to
buy
one.
earpods for $35.
Timu.
Right? Yeah, totally.
Earpods that also has like a pocket pussy attached to it somehow. Like, what is this? It's from Timu. Just you can ignore the bottom half.
Jesus. Yeah, you don't use them both at the same time.
It's like a kinetic charger. Just kind of get it going.
You gotta shake it.
The friction
a shake weight
builds
charger.
energy.
You're gonna love
Yeah.
this thing. You just tie it onto your wrist. You'll keep it charged. Don't worry, we know.
Jesus. So that was my stupid dog this week. But I think we're going to get a second one just to kind of help her kind of like have a friend.
That's your solution is to get a second dog?
Somebody who can hoist her up to the next level of where you hide your shit. Like, give me a boost. Give me a boost, bitch.
Oh my God.
My dog's dumb shit today was I'm rebuilding my deck and all of the decking is off of where the stairs lead up to it right now. And I let it, and it's been like that for a second because it's me doing it. So it's not like, it wasn't like one day, you know what I mean? So the dog goes out to go to the bathroom in the dark and like was in a frisky, like, fucking let's get back inside. and ran up the stairs into just like an open deck, just like no decking, just the fucking studs, and like ate shit. And it was like holding itself up by the chin and two paws here and like two paws way back there. And this is like a week and a half after we thought we were going to have to put the dog down because he like fucked his leg up. And I was just like, no. I'm like watching him run to the thing. I was like, don't do it. Slow motion.
Slow-mo.
Ate shit. Graham and I had to like lift this dog from two sides. He was just sitting there like, I was like, yeah, no, there's no floor there. You fucking idiot. God.
Is the dog okay?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, whatever.
I mean, you said you like almost had to put him down before.
No, like
now,
like a week and a half ago. So, I mean, this is a short version of this story is 6 years ago, we fucking had surgery on this dog's leg because he was young enough to be like, yeah, we'll invest in more life, I guess, for this dog. And then like a week and a half ago, he was just literally walking down the stairs and like twisted an ankle or did some shit. And like, we thought he fucking busted whatever surgery was done because he couldn't walk on it for like a day. And this dog's like 15. Like, I'm not fucking $3,000 surgerying this dog again.
Oh, so, yeah. Heard.
We went to the vet, and I was fully expecting them to be like, here's your options. But instead, they were like, no, the surgery held. He's just got terrible arthritis. All you got to do is put him on a slew of pills every fucking day. Costs you another couple $100 a month, but should be right as rain. I was like, do you want to take another look, doc? Or you got that for sure?
He's
cool.
Hasn't he had a good life? He's had a good life.
We've already all cried. Everybody at home's already cried. I kind of got everybody primed up for like, maybe it's kitten time, Like,
listen, hey, between you and me, it's about time.
But no. So yeah, he's fine. Everything's great. He's the best.
Well, at least he'll live long enough to start shitting in the house.
And now back to Six Picks Music Club.
Keep the drive alive, it's pick 5. Woo!
All right, so back to Six Picks. We're going down the final stretch of things. This is pick 5. It's going to be my pick. And I mentioned we'd be coming back to Kim Deal, and we sure as shit are. And we're going to listen to a track by The Breeders, a sonic slingshot of rebellion and joy. Let's give a spin to Cannonball off their 1993 record. Fucking The Breeders, dude.
One of my friends, I was on the hunt for new music at one point. This is whatever. I think I was in college, and a friend of mine said, "You know Cannonball by The Breeders?" I'm like, "I do not." He's like, "It's probably the most alternative song ever written." I was like, "Okay."
Breeders were formed by Kim Deal, bassist from the Pixies, who we talked about earlier, and Tanya Donnelly, guitarist from Throwing Muses. By the time they were recorded, Last Splash, the record that this song came off of, Donnelly left to form a band called Belly, and Kim's twin sister, Kelly Deal, had joined the band. So I think as far as like rock music goals go, this is the greatest dream that you could possibly consider, is like growing up and playing in a rock and roll band with your sibling who you're super close with. I think that sounds like a fucking great recipe. But so here they are. They get to have this band. They were doing this little side project thing, and Kelly comes down the hall because a fax had just come in at the studio where they were working on this record, and Frank Black had faxed the members of the band to say like he was breaking up the band and that the Pixies were no more. And so Kelly came down the hall and told Kim this. She's like, thank God, now I can just focus on this shit, and like went into the fucking recording booth and fucking recorded this song. there's a couple of really great things that are going on with this. This also has a really great video that Spike Jonze directs, I think with Kim Gordon.
Yes, that is correct.
And it's a great video. It's like it follows this sort of fisheye camera, like it's a rolling hamster ball or something, into the garage where the band's playing, and then it cuts to Kim singing the chorus underwater. It's just like, it's such a cool video.
Typical Spike Jonze video.
Typical Spike Jonze video, but yeah, people underwater and intercut with a fisheye lens. But this track is just like, it's interesting when you say it's like the most alternative song of all time. It comes from all of these different places, and like there's left hooks and right hooks just like literally within 10 seconds of each other. The composition of the song is what's rebellious about it. It doesn't fit a thing, but it's unconventional on so many different levels. It starts off with like she's talking into her harmonica, and it's like this feedback that it creates that's just like this sort of nice little accident that they just said, oh, okay, let's keep it in there. And then the Aoos apparently is like her nod to the Oompa Loompa song from Willy Wonka. So that's what she was thinking about there.
Love that.
Where I think you see some connections to the Pixie stuff is in a little bit of that loud, quiet, loud aspect where the verse itself feels, pretty melodic and, going through the things, and then we get to the chorus, and it's a frenetic, grungy but still poppy guitar, overdriven and whatnot, and it's just a really, really fun song. And it's like it's also so textured that the lyrics are kind of incoherent if you're not really like, I don't know, paying attention to it or like reading them on Lyrics FM or whatever that I had to do, because like just who knows what the hell they're saying there. And this is why it's a song that like I wouldn't have played for my mom, like through the refrain or whatever. Like it's really like a song that she says is making fun of the Marquis de Sade and like the way that he would look down on people that were, beneath him. And it was just like, that was sort of the inspiration with it or whatnot. If you didn't have the lyric sheet, if JM wasn't reading the lyrics to his mom, like, I don't know that he would say like that he could sing the refrain, like, we want you cuckoo cannonball. Like, it's just like, what does that even mean?
I didn't know it was cuckoo cannonball. I will
nor
admit
did I.
that readily. Yeah.
I was reading through the lyrics earlier, and I was like, oh, wow. I guess I actually never knew what was ever said in this song.
Well, and so if you are reading the lyrics, like as she's singing that part, like it's all off the tempo. Like it's like she's not singing it in the meter of the song. So it's like it's this other
everything's
kind of
over the
disjointed
line.
thing.
There's no bar. It's
like,
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just fucking crazy. And like, and this is where my mom would have been like, I wouldn't have played it for her, because like she would be like, that's just too noisy. Like, what is that even? Like, just turn it down, Like, and like that's the chaos and the frenetic kind of thing. Again, this is a song that I was aware of because it was a single. It was huge. It was on the radio everywhere in the mid 90s. But it wasn't until I started going through like the annuals of music videos by film directors that I liked, like Spike Jonze and Mark Romanek and, Michel Gondry and all that stuff, that I was like, it came back to this and I was like, oh, he did this video, and I totally appreciate it in a different way. But like, I remember hearing it in my high school youth and thinking like, oh yeah, mom would not like this. And I think the feeling of the dichotomy between that loud, quiet, loud piece of things, I hadn't really been familiar with before I heard this song.
There's so much dynamic to this thing.
No, 100%.
To the point that there's moments of absolute silence. I mean, that's kind of what's brilliant about this song. It's like the pregnant pause moments where you're like, and then it comes back in and kicks you.
Right. It's a fucking alt rock masterpiece. I love this song. Yeah, I think it is so really, good. It's fun and cool to listen to. And like, I haven't heard it in a long time. And I was like, oh, this is fun. It was fun to go back and listen to it. I listened to it several times.
And the lyrics, I think, are like rebellious, spitting in the wishing well, the suggestion of like a rejection of tradition or hope or whatever. Even the band's name itself, The Breeders, is like...
it's a slang for being straight.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But no, so rebellion against structure, rebellion against sort of the societal norms of what women are supposed to be, like it's all nonlinear, it's all surreal. It's just like a rejection of conventional songwriting. So it's just like, I don't know. I think what a perfect single for Kim Deal to get to put out with her new band post fucking the Pixies, with all of the drama that happened there. And then like, I want to say Kurt Cobain really loved this song and even said like, oh yeah, I wish Kim would write more Pixies songs because I like them better. I like The Pod is one of my favorite records of all time.
Yep. Have you heard the Frank Black interpretation of this song?
Of this song? No. What does he say?
The Marquis de Sade is like the known sort of like, this is the, you know, the idea behind the song or whatever, but there's an interpretation out there.
Does he think it's about him? Yeah.
No, not he does, but there's a fan theory that this was written about the breakup of the Pixies and about her relationship with Frank Black, because the idea of like spitting in a wishing well and everything gets blown to hell is like, you know, the Pixies were on this like
meteoric rise,
rocket ship to stardom or whatever, and then it all got thrown away.
Yeah.
And then she calls him like a little libertine, and even the illusion of cannonball, because like Frank Black is not a small human.
No. Yeah.
And so, but also was like the destroyer of the thing that they had. And so, but her thing is like, but I'm the last splash. I'm going to like come back and do this whole other fucking thing, and it's going to be better than your whole thing or whatever. So there's this whole like, and even to the point of like, I'll be the bong in your reggae song, because a lot of the Pixie stuff was like thrown back to kind of like Islander and reggae influence on the upbeats. Even in Hey, which is another JM's Connection corner, is like the Hey upstrokes of all those like guitars or whatever do have this kind of like,
well, it's like a surf rock kind of kind
of surf rock kind of reggae kind of vibe or whatever, which was, you know, thematic throughout some of the Pixies stuff, allegedly. Like I said, I'm not an expert on it, but so this is one of the other interpretations of this song, is that like the Marquis de Sade was stand-in for really Frank Black or whatever, because they shared a personality type or whatever, and a lot of the allusion of the lyrics is meant to speak to the demise of the Pixies and her sort of rising from the ashes with the Breeders and her sister to do what she really wanted and get out of the shadows. I think there's like a shadow, like I'm in the shade, you know, of this like situation in the lyrics. Being, you know, an allusion to being in the shadow of Frank Black or whatever and getting out from under it. And just a quick fact check, the harmonica, it's a harmonica mic that she sang into, not a harmonic. So the microphone itself, which is a very different kind of mic and does create all kinds of interesting like tones and stuff. It's meant to handle that kind of high pitchy vibe of the harmonica, so it gives that whole. And she uses it a lot in live performance. Yeah, they're very cool looking. It's like that Buckley on the cover
green bullet thing
kind of vibe. Yeah,
I did see that there's speculation that the cover art on Last Splash is a cutout of a heart and with someone sticking a scrotum through it. So the heart is actually a scrotum being pushed through a heart cutout.
Oh, that's amazing.
But it's not confirmed, but
that hits me right here. And listener, you have to guess where I'm gesturing.
In his heart. Oh, circling back, anecdote about Billy Corgan. Did you know that he and Bill Burr are potentially like
half brothers or something?
Half brothers, yeah.
This is like kind of becoming a real actual thing, right? Like
they've
Billy
been on
Corgan
interviews
said
together. On a podcast, right.
Yeah.
Where he's like, yeah, I think my dad is your dad.
Yeah.
And Bill Burr was like, I'm not comfortable talking about that.
Yeah. And it tracks.
Oh, weird.
When you
That's
look at them,
funny.
You're like,
Yeah.
I mean,
they do kind of look.
To be fair, they're just both bald white guys, but like bald white guys, they probably all come from the same place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys aren't
I
bald,
think they both think highly of themselves as well.
They do indeed. I love this song. I love, to your point about the structure of this song, it is, what's amazing about it is the fact that it can be as catchy as it is and be so chaotic and like unconventional.
It's like the single that should have never been a single kind of thing.
100%. The lyrics never match up with the beats of the stanza. She jumps over lines of bars. There's whole pauses of like total rest that last way longer than most songs would ever allow absolute silence to exist in a song. And then you get these mellow, cool moments of like melodic harmony. And then you get these really dissonant, big, distorted guitars. And it's just really cool. And it's an earworm. for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what's funny and the kind of telltale that that's true is that we didn't, Russ and I both admitted like, well, I read the lyrics of this song in preparation for this moment of conversation and learned new things that I never knew about that song. But if you play a second of that song, I know immediately what it is. Immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like from that first feedback, whatever.
Immediately.
It's like,
Right, there are those few songs that like you can hear the first half second of it starting. You're like, I know what the song is.
It's like Jack White calling Beatles tunes, It's like, I need 1 second.
There's that flat note in the intro from the bass. The bass got the flat.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Where she's playing the wrong note. She starts the song
Wrong key.
twice. Last little anecdote. This track was originally called grunge because of its alt rock 90s and island sounds like reggae, but grunge
gay.
So
How do you
I don't know
pronounce
if that's saying it right. I don't know.
Can't be right.
But there's a grunge gay demo on the 20th anniversary edition of Last Splash that came out not too long ago. So, but yeah, this is a song that I really like, and video is great and great band.
Tit pick, baby, tit pick. Fuck yeah.
The titular pick, the sixth pick of the Six Picks Music Club. The honor goes to JM tonight.
Look, this band's troublesome. I'm not going to lie, guys. I brought a band to the table that it's got a lot to be discussed potentially, but this song, to me, is an undeniable ode to the 90s metal era, and it is called I'm Broken by Pantera.
That guitar is so sludgy, dude.
I'm really bringing the pissed off teenager energy to the pod tonight, everybody. my apologies. Are you mad at your dad yet? Because you should be. This song was nominated for a Grammy, actually, in 95 for Best Metal Performance, beat out by none other than Spoon Man.
Heyo.
By Soundgarden. You got to take a little bit of a tough one to the chin when somebody playing the Spoons beats you in the metal category, but
Yes.
what are you going to do? Life's hard.
But they did have a #1 album, so
They did. Yeah, it worked out. But it just, don't tell me Phil Anselmo's not fucking chewing on that fucking craw for a little bit. We got Phil, who we'll talk about in a minute. His concept of this song was because, he went through a lower back pain thing that led to all his heroin addiction and stuff down the road, kind of chronic pain world. And this song was allegedly his vulnerable moment of speaking about, this fact that he had all this pain or whatever. So I won't pull out the violin quite yet for Phil, but, the idea here is that he's kind of screaming into the void about being broken as a human being. And in the 90s, when this came out, before we knew what we know today, it really spoke to me. And it was, there's a lot about this song musically that I think taps into the anger of youth and the anger of rebellion and where all that stuff kind of comes without the need for lyrics, just from a sonic, place. You can tap into that feeling without saying a word. And I think this song does that in a really intense way. But before we get that, we'll say Dimebag Darrell, this song started with him. This is a riff that he used to play for Soundcheck. And it sort of slowly became this thing. All the rest of the band would be like, all right, we kind of got like a vibe on this thing. And eventually it was one of those where like everybody's like, this song kind of rips. Like we should probably make it a real thing. It's not just a Soundcheck riff. And after coming off tour, they actually wrote it in when they were in the studio into a full song.
Someone's like, hey, do you think that maybe we can... I have this lyric in my head about leaky rubbers. Do you think we can slide that in there somewhere?
Venereal mother keeps it's over and over and over again in my head. And do you have anything that works with venereal mother? And Dimebag was like, fucking venereal rubber. Here's some reasons Phil sucks. In 1994, this motherfucker was arrested for assault whenever he had an altercation with a security guard who was doing his job by keeping fans off the stage at a show. He was addicted to heroin, and look, it happens to the best of us. I get it. You've done a little heroin, listener. I know you have, but this guy took it too far. You know, he got really deep into this world that broke up the band. They got back together in 2016. He had a little snafu where he threw a Nazi salute and shouted white power at a concert. And don't worry, it was a drunken joke. So Phil, he came out publicly.
We've talked about this before.
He apologized and he said, hey, everybody, take it easy. I was just kidding. Elon, it's a similar thing. We let these people run our government. But, you know, back then it was frowned upon to throw a Nazi salute in a public setting and say things like white power, but we didn't have the same sensibilities we do today.
Yeah, Ozfest in 2004, though, is doing the white power Nazi salute then, too, right?
Yeah, he did. That was also a joke. When he gets drunk, he loves to joke about white power and saluting Nazis.
Yeah,
yeah. He's had a couple of moments that don't age well.
He said Pantera's not a racist band and that his friends and bandmates have friends of all colors and all kinds. Right?
Yeah, it does create a little bit of challenge within the lyrical content. I believe it's let me go back. Hold on. Let me do a fact check on myself.
I mean, it's just their Southern heritage, you know.
It's Southern mingled blood. Throwing in a poison apple for mingled blood doesn't kind of connect with all this. So I'm going to admit up front that when I was 14, when this thing came out, I didn't catch all the nuance and I didn't know what we know now around this song. So that all being said, boy, this song fucking rips. This also gets into my, the artist versus the art and like, who do we cancel and when and why do we cancel them? But the point today is what changed us when we were young, and for better or worse, this fucking song absolutely did that to me. What's interesting to me is the lyrics themselves are a little nonsensical. They're kind of poorly strung together, but they represent these fragments of ideas around inheriting a way of belief and a way of living that maybe isn't working for you or that makes you feel broken. And I think it's interesting to consider the idea that Phil is speaking in this I'm Broken song about inheriting, the lessons that were taught to your son and the problems of the venereal mother and all these things.
Like generational trauma.
Like this piece of shit down the road. And, that's how racism kind of works in a lot of ways, is like you just learn it from the people who raised you and they teach you that things are certain ways and you aren't smart enough to think your way out of that kind of teaching. Not to give him any kind of credit or forgiveness for any dumb shit he's done, but it is an interesting thing as we know what we know now and then look back at kind of how he's interpreting his broken existence. You can kind of read some subcontext into that that's interesting. Outside of that, this thing is a...
Oh, yeah, you won't have heard this, but like last week on the show, Jeff was talking about his mom. She was going through some health stuff and was in this nursing home. Yeah. And he was talking to all of the... just because he's at this elder care facility for, I don't know, a week trying to figure stuff out for his mom. And he's just kind of talking shop, trying to make friends with the staff there and tell a joke here and there and just kind of keep things light. And he's like, so what are some of the crazy things that people do? And they're like, oh, well, we just, we're on a countdown until they start calling us the N-word.
Oh, he's talking about dementia patients.
When all the filters wear off.
Right.
Well, when they revert back to their 1950s upbringing or whatever.
Right.
They respond really great to doo-wop music, and they use the N-word a lot. This is where the light really turns back on for them at this point in their existence.
So bad.
Play black jazz.
It's rough, dude. It's rough. This is a quintessential metal song to me. I mean, it's so fucking tough sounding, and it's so like mean and gritty.
Mm-hmm.
His vocal performance is excellent. I mean, it is an absolute like guttural. It's a scream. It's a metal kind of trope or whatever, but it has just enough tonality to feel like it's in key with the rest of the song. And he does little things like the length of the word broken when he says it. I'm broken. It's like just long enough and cuts off to still feel kind of spoken without being like overly, dramatic or whatever. It's a really like nuanced way of pulling it off that works well. There's the low end drums, there's the grunts, there's the shredding guitar. Dimebag Darrell just like delivers a quintessential metal solo in this thing. This whole thing is just, it's metal to a T.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting to me about this song, musically speaking, just from a structural standpoint, is most metal, we kind of dig into the double bass and it's a lot of really busy drums and stuff. And this song has a really, really slow drum line for a metal song. When you actually sit and listen to this thing, it's like the kick is on the 1 and the snare is on the 3 of this bar. And that is almost never done in metal. It's like, and every once in a while, a double bass will kick in or a fill will kick in, and it's all the more interesting in that moment because of how minimal the actual drum line is through the rest of the song. Great tones, big low, big sound, crashing cymbals, but a very slow by metal standards drum line, which I thought was interesting as I was like really like listening, kind of digging into it or whatever. So a lot of space for rests, for the guitars to shine and for the lyrics to kind of come through and the vocal performance to come through and kind of hit it. And really, to get to the point of why this is one of my tracks, this is the first song, or this is the first record.
Is it because this song played on the Carl's Jr. commercial?
God, did I send this in already? How'd you know that? So weird. All right, pod over. You already you knew the punchline. No, it's not. The Carl's Jr. was a bonus. It was kind of the icing on the rebellion cake for me, because my parents hated Carl's Jr. and so I was all in.
Was it for like a breakfast sandwich or like a chicken sandwich? What was
They were
it
like, we
advertising
don't
for?
do fucking sauce on breakfast Sammys.
The venereal burger, of course.
A leaky rubber. Not on my burger. the real, not in Jesus's Texas. That's it. Yeah,
That's how you became the miracle baby.
yeah. This song was too reflective for them. They couldn't handle the mirror being quite that close. No, the real reason is because, as previously mentioned, my mom would make me like read lyrics, and there was a lot of controls and levers on what kind of music I could pull into the house or whatever, and we fought about it constantly. And so around this time, I was like 14, 15.
Before you get into that, was the point of you reading it to her to make you embarrassed to do it in front of her?
No, it was to verify that it was allowed to be in the house. So if she got a hold of lyrics she didn't like, the record was out. I had to hand over the CD.
Why didn't she read them? Why did she make you read them to her?
Because she believed that I would be honest in the way that I read the lyrics.
Oh, nice.
And I actually, this is a side note, but I attribute some of I have a decent ability to ad lib and sort of, in the moment kind of come up with things, and especially when it comes to lyrics. And it's because I used to, in real time, I would be reading the lyrics for the first time, but I'd be a couple of lines ahead of where my mouth was so that I could edit in real time as I read.
Rewriting songs.
100%, dude. I could swap out words, and I was working overtime to get through it and still.
Incredible. She never verified?
No. I mean, I lost a couple of records, so I mean, I guess she verified some. I had to get rid of Use Your Illusions 1 and 2. That one went out the window. But I snuck a few through. Yeah, and it made me all the better improviser. So practice makes perfect.
Now back to the basics. You want to get yours and I want to get... Okay, give me that nut. So I don't know.
I want to friend you like a...
Animal.
I don't know. It's weird. It's kind of stupid lyrics, but he's a happy guy. So I don't know. I'll be in my room, not smoking weed. But she finally gave up. I wore her out. Now, keep in mind, third child, right? So she's already gone through the fight with the teenagers twice or whatever. And
so
I'm
you have no baby
13,
photos,
14.
right? You're just like,
I'm like the forgotten fucking lost
they're
toy.
gone, right?
Oh yeah, they're all gone. So I'm like, she's just at the point at her wit's end because I'm always arguing, always fighting about let me have that, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, okay, fine. You know what? From now on, you can get whatever music you want. You don't have to run it through me or whatever. But and it came with a side plate of guilt of but Jesus is watching sort of, sentiment. And I was like, yeah, take the responsibility. Great power, great responsibility. I got it. And the second she turns her head, I'm straight to the mall and fucking Pantera, Far Beyond Driven's in my hand. I'm just like, give me the most fucked up shit you got. So this record this was the record that I went and bought the second that she took the leash off.
Nice.
So, and I brought it home and I listened, and this is the sign. This is one of the most important.
This is the first track.
I wouldn't call it a titular track per se, but it is a very important track.
Opening track to the record, though, isn't it first? Yeah.
It is the opening track to this record, and it blew my little mind, and I was like, yeah. And it also spoke to that sentiment where Wish and 9 Inch Nails was at the beginning of my what the fuck, who am I, this isn't it. By the time this record came out, I had already firmly solidified that I was way outside the bounds of whatever was going on in my family but I hadn't made peace with it yet. I was still kind of in this headspace of somehow that's wrong, or I'm doing a bad thing, or there's there was an associative guilt, even though it wasn't enough to stop me from trying to find my way. You knew you're doing something wrong. You're risking getting in trouble. You're bucking convention in the system or whatever. And so I'm broken. Time and place and whatever hit for me in a really hard way that resonated, that made me feel this is how I feel right now. I feel like I'm a broken toy in this, in this land. And I latched onto it.
Where I was an accident. Yeah. And it wasn't wanted. Sure. Totally.
And it sounded as angry as I felt, which was, again, the music sometimes doesn't need the lyrics to kind of get at what's going on inside. And this one hit me in that way.
Right. Agreed.
Was what I was going to say was that I think there's a feel to this song that I identified more with than I wasn't thinking about the lyrics and maybe in that era of my, what is this, 95? So I'm a sophomore in high school. And I was in Dallas. So Pantera is the hometown hero band. They're fucking, they are the Dallas Stars hockey fight theme song. Whenever we score a fucking goal for the Dallas Stars, they play the fucking Dallas Stars fight song by Pantera. And it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. But, obviously abhorrent things said about whatever, racist things said by Home Dude. But
yeah.
But the way that this music feels, I think, feels more rebellious to me than the lyrics of the song. Because when I was listening to stuff like this, when I was first introduced to stuff like this, I couldn't tell you what they were saying. I was
100% not. I knew I'm broken. An apple, I think, came through. That was about it.
He's not singing. He's just screaming. Why are we going to listen to this guy scream? But the more I don't know, as you grow out of your Duncan Sheik records and start to find that this is a whole other sort of subgenre of metal, groove metal is this thing that they're kind of doing where it's just it's glam rock I think they started as a glam rock band, right? But then
right at the end of the whole 80s fucking hair stuff. Yep.
But then they were just hell no, got a new vocalist, whatever racist guy's name is, and totally changed their sound. But they were a popular band through my high school, except for my friend Chris, who was big Dead Kennedys fan. He was Nazi punks, fuck off, always fuck Pantera. I was well, I don't know why, whatever. Yeah, I do like that idea to that point of what does a rebellion feel like? You know, what is it? It's a rejection of what you've been told to be true or the norm or whatever. I think this is the big unifying factor in all of our songs, is that there is a rejection of our protagonist or narrator of what it is that they're expected to be or do. And in that sort of rage, so, you know, good on all of these musicians for being so brilliant as to evoke, you know, these, thousands years old structures for musical theory to make us uncomfortable with our status quo, to like make us question the status quo, and then ultimately say like, yeah, no, I want something different.
Not to say that there's not rebellious music now. There absolutely is, and there are people who are pushing convention, but you know, the challenge of the postmodern dilemma is once a high watermark has been created, it's hard. You can't recreate that one. You got to come up with a new one. And it just gets more and more difficult to kind of capture a large group of people's sentiment all at once. You know, Taylor Swift seems to do it right now with a large group of people. I wouldn't call her music rebellious in any way, shape, or form necessarily, although I'm sure it can be interpreted that way. And there's probably lots of stuff of hers that is, because I'm not familiar with her whole catalog. But
yeah, I would challenge that. I think she's got a lot.
I'm sure it is.
We can't finish this off until you tell us what happened to Dimebag Darrell, because in this pod we always talk about the bad shit that happens.
Listen,
yeah.
I mean, Dimebag, assumingly was a big fan of cocaine, but I actually don't. I know the dude died, but I don't know why.
He got shot in the head on stage.
He got shot on stage.
Oh, I do remember that now that you say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
He was killed by a mentally deranged fan at a show.
Like on stage.
On stage.
Yeah. Yeah, the dude jumped on stage, like rushed the stage, started shooting several shots. He got shot in the head, and there were like a couple of other casualties also.
I feel like, I mean, tragedy notwithstanding, if you're in a metal band and your love is music and shredding, it feels like one of the better
kind
ways
of a metal way to go out.
Yeah,
I was gonna say it's a rock star death. We haven't had a murder rock star death on the pod yet.
There we go, dude. Yeah.
There we go.
It's like
it's just a new one we haven't had yet, like a murder.
Have you seen that? I think we talked about this before, but the Chileno Sanchez video where he gets handed the note that the Spanish mafia is going to kill him after the show. He's like singing on stage.
Like, oh fuck!
And he reads it, and then he's just like, "Fuck it," and just gets back to the song.
Let's do this.
It's fucking. Yeah, it's intense.
I heard it was when they actually got the identity of the shooter, it was Phil Hartman's wife, oddly enough.
Oof, too soon.
Too soon?
Too soon. Still 90s. Too soon. I love Phil Hartman.
Me too.
Such a tragedy.
Dark side of comedy.
He's in so many good things.
Yeah.
Rush the Stage. What was that? 2004. December 8th, 2004. Their fucking band Damage Plan was playing in Columbus, Ohio. We're back in Ohio.
Back in Ohio.
We're fucking
birthplace of Nine Inch Nails.
And of Kim fucking Deal from Dayton, Ohio.
What are we doing?
God damn it, Ohio. Fucking crazy. Jesus Christ. Well, JM, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been a real pleasure to have you, and it's been great. So thanks for coming on. It's been really cool to have you.
It's been an absolute pleasure, my gents. I'll come back anytime you'll have me, and anytime listeners willing to listen.
Speaking of listener, we always do check the mailbag, and we actually have a couple tonight. So first up, we have one. This is from Joe in Dallas, and he writes, "Hi guys, longtime listener, first time caller. Congrats on getting to 50 eps. I was impressed that you all did 10 and kept going. So I'm like 5 times as impressed now. Also, I used AI to make this email more concise, which is a concept you 3 have no fucking clue about. Anyways, keep the yucks coming. If you're looking for a new track to spin, check out Gus Baldwin and the sketch track Steady on It. It's a banger." All right, Joe. Thanks for that constructive criticism. We'll do our best.
Pods by Gemini coming at you soon.
Yeah. Okay. Second email. Hey guys. This is a weird request, but I heard from a little bird that JM was going to be on the pod, and ever since his last guest appearance, I can't get that voice out of my head. Would it be possible for him to read a part of a book for me? I'm just curious what it would sound like out of his voice. Thanks so much. Love you. Person with no name attached a couple of files that I'm going to send to you, JM. I haven't actually read this yet, but yeah, whoever, I think JM will probably be fine to read this. You want to give it a shot, whatever it says?
I've got a book on my nightstand that I've been reading lately, if you don't mind me reading a couple of passages here. Mac hums his agreement as he moves further down my body and settles his head between my thighs. He uses his expert tongue, started to work me into a frenzy, licking my folds and sucking my clit into his mouth as he brings me to the edge. He knows exactly what buttons to press, and he has me coming all over his face in under 2 minutes. God. As my orgasm tears through me, I take Chase to the back of my throat while I groan Mac's name with my mouth stuffed full of his buddy's cock.
Oh my God, there's two of them?
Oh, dying. Oh, my God.
Is it cool if I jerk off right now, guys?
Please do, but maintain eye contact with me through the camera.
I'm
if you could. Chase pulls back as the last of my climax washes over me, stroking his cock while he looks down at me with fire in his eyes. So shall we see if we can fuck her at the same time? Mac asks Chase with a grin. Fuck yeah.
Oh my God.
Chase grins back. Get up, baby. Mac orders with a light slap on my pussy.
I can't fucking breathe over here. Jesus Christ.
And climb onto Chase so you can ride his cock. Chase lies back on the bed and I straddle him, sliding my creamy, soaking pussy onto his boner.
Oh, my Lord. Okay.
Bravo, dude.
So that's from a C.S. Lewis book that I've been reading. Yeah, it's out of the Chronicles of Narnia. It's one of the later books after Prince Caspian and stuff. But it's really good.
This is Voyage of the Dick Treader, dude.
These pages of the podcast are stuck together. Yeah. That's...
I want to know where the fuck... I don't know where that came from, but whoever gave me those pages has a hold of something.
Yeah. I just 6 to midnight.
I'll keep the names redacted, but whoever proffered that up is they've got access to something real here.
Interesting.
All right.
Well, yeah, that's going to do it for us tonight on Six Picks Music Club.
That's gonna finish us off.
It's fucking done, bro. It's already done.
This podcast is fully completed.
Oh, man. Yeah. Thanks for being part of it. And thanks for being with us here, listener, and listening every other week.
Thanks for slapping my pussy, listener.
Oh, my God.
It's the least I could do.
Hey, it's Wednesday. Happy hump day. We're close to the weekend. We're going to keep going. Let us know in the comments.
Slide into our
DMs. Email. Slide into the DMs what tracks you might have picked that sparked your feelings of rebellion. We'll read it on the show just like all the other emails we get, so listener can weigh in or just get a boner. Yeah, we love your recommendations, so let us know what you're listening to and what should be on our radar. Thanks again to Joe. We're going to give that Gus Baldwin track, Steady on It, a play as we get out the door today. Yeah, we'll see what we can do about getting it long, but it's up to you really to listen. If you want to stop and start on your own schedule, that's fine. We hope you stick it out. But let's play that track as we get out the door. And as always, the tracks for today's show are in the Spotify playlist in our show notes. Give them all a spin, ball up your fist, punch a pillow, punch a hole in some drywall, or just lay on your floor and melt into the carpet. Thanks so much to Child and Death Squad for our opener music. You guys are still kicking all kinds of ass. Listener, we'll see you in 2 weeks. 2 Wednesdays, 2 humps. Hump day. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Till then, play it loud. Keep jamming. This episode of Six Picks Music Club was produced by Dixon Butts. Edited by Colin for sex. With special thanks to Dixie Rex.